We are
Right.
recording with this chaos.
Okay.
Well, yeah, usual group couldn't make it.
And then they could, and then they couldn't.
Yep, yep. So we got Nick.
Ew.
All right.
um, so,
Alright.
I guess to start off, we will find our currently two. Um, in the town of Milto. It is a somewhat small farming town, mainly for wheat and stuff like that. However, there has been a recent influx in the ways of religious and organizations within, because Milto is a somewhat close, a relatively close distance in terms of travel time away from the destroyed holy city. Um, this city was kind of in the ground in a dust bowl crater by a ongoing vampire war previous years that was quickly dealt with, and from that uh, left any refugees kind of come out who were able to get out of the town in time before it was reduced to nothing. Um, Out of a place to be and a nearby farming village willing to take them in. In about 7 years since then. It's starting to become the just nearing the end of spring, and the two of you have found yourself summoned to a local church. Um, One person because was asked specifically by a um acquaintance of theirs. Was more so unless you'd like to kind of local part that is in the area. In a bit of a kind of on their travels. Uh, would the two of you like to describe your characters? We'll start with the paladin.
All right. Um. So, Isilde is a fairly tall woman with pale silver eyes, kind of long white hair. She wears chainmail and sort of this tabard over the top in whites and blues. Um, she's it's all very worn, kind of patched looking. She is not the shiniest paladin out there. She carries a shield, kind of the tower shape, though not quite as large, and a morning star on her belt, the flail version. Um, she also wears a mask over the top half of her face.
And I guess over to the bard.
Well, Safina Allen is also a woman. She's a wood elf, a bard, a quite skilled one, but she's been mostly focused on praising the religions of the wild back back from home in the woods. And for that, she keeps her lute and viol around. Fairly tall due to her like usual wood elf background. String hair, mostly darkened. There wasn't much light haired people in her family, and she has a different expertise from most wood elf bards, or at least from the kinds that came from there. She's a warrior of sorts. Uh, she has her chainmail too, and she fights with sword quite skilled.
All right. And you might not readily admit it. You are powerful individuals in the grand scheme of things. You're not exactly legendary dragon slayers, but
Yet.
yes, yet. But you're kind of peaking on the kind of basic human ability. For Nick more so, in this setting, standard, like your standard elf or human or halfling or what have you, basically kind of caps out around level 10 or 11. So you guys are kind of in your prime and at the kind of apex of kind of the growth of your abilities, at least for now. Furthermore, the two of you were also happen to, in your various ways, come across various types of magical essences. Recent development within, heck, maybe like a year, kind of making a splash, being the raw magical distilled form of a creature's powers, magic, and abilities. If you have one of two different kinds, one of a particular creature each, various aspects of your equipment and things like that. Nick, I don't think it was expressed specifically before. The two creatures.
Yeah, it was the unicorn and the water elemental.
Yep. So there's the telepathy. You received the telepathy from the unicorn, and for the water elemental,
we were debating the making like a sort of water form mixture, not like at least like one time a day I can like gaseous form, but water form for like a super short period.
All right. In that case, then yeah, I'd basically say you'd have the ability to once a day for 1 minute gain the water form trait from the water elemental. So space and stop there. Move through in spaces and areas 1 inch wide without squeezing.
Yes.
And as well, for the sake of this, you can basically take the whelm attack verbatim.
Ooh. As an additional one?
Basically, which you can do while you're in that form.
Okay, in the water form. Yeah, great.
You charge 4 to 6, and because you're a medium, basically you can only grapple one creature rather than one large or two medium.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, you could grapple one medium or two small.
One medium.
For the sake of simplicity, you can just copy and paste the rest. The 2d8 bludgeoning. You can pull it out with a DC 14 strength check.
Cool.
As well, I think Isilda has, but for Shavina, also you could just pick kind of the the kind of magical essence. Basically,
Sorry, I didn't.
your armor, your weapon.
Oh.
Like what on your person is kind of holding these essences? Basically, kind of like magic items.
Yeah, I'd say the unicorn thing is on the hilt of the sword. It's like a charm.
All right.
It's like a beautifully designed hilt on silver, and the water elemental is like a sigil on my chainmail.
Right. Yep, that can definitely work. Just for the sake of flavor later on.
Cool.
So the two of you are basically called to meet on a particular day. For the sake of this, we'll say it's a Tuesday morning at a particular church, not dedicated to any one god. Open one with a few various shrines to some of the bigger players. But gods fluctuate, and so do people's beliefs in them. A kind of open house, kind of just on the corner of an area. And assuming both of you are on time, you kind of find yourself entering at the same time. One of you might have heard about the other, just vaguely. If you were in the town for for a week or more. So Isilda, you might have heard of a kind of bard in town going up, singing the praises of various elven gods.
I might.
Shafina, you might have heard of this paladin kind of walking around being a bit scary.
Also, she's not from around here.
A bit of a foreigner vibe to her.
I was just looking at your image. That's cool.
So the two of you kind of walk into the large front doors of the church at the same time, and kind of waiting there, just sat on a nearby bench. Nice, Father Dario, gentleman. Although much older than he might lead on, at least if rumors are to be believed. Supposedly placing him around his 80s or 90s. In some of the more exaggerated cases. However, he looks up and gives a smile and he's like, "Oh, good, both of you can make it."
Father Dario, thanks for reaching out.
Of course, thank you for coming. We're a town who finds ourselves somewhat low on capable individuals, let's say.
Thanks.
Is there
And
a
as
problem?
well,
My first share of Isilde here, but it's my first time meeting her.
Is there a problem?
Not at all.
well, problem. Not immediately and not right now. No one's in danger as we speak. Change. Something has been brought to our attention. A trustworthy individual. In fact, here, he kind of beckons the two of you into more of a side room.
Isilde follows.
Meet.
And the two of you kind of file into the kind of smaller door off to the side in the kind of larger, larger, tall ceilinged room of the church. And the two of you walk in, and you see basically a desk. So you know this as kind of Father Dario's kind of not quite office, more of a talk, but he does have a bit of paperwork there as well. And sat across the desk, kind of on the corner, you see a man with a kind of long, extravagant white robe, with the hood kind of over top. Falls down as he stands up to greet the two of you. Striking is the kind of look to his eyes, as his sclera are black. His pupils themselves kind of have this crimson tinge to them. He's got this shock of white hair on the top of his head that kind of gets darker as it goes down, and kind of goes down the side of his head. And I will show you.
Oh,
As he stands up and goes, "Well, if you're the two I've been told about, then it is nice to meet you. I am Mr. Platinum." And he puts a hand out to shake for each of you.
platinum. I love it. My favorite kind of coin.
I like this one already.
Oi,
Oh, come
Masilda.
sit. We have a bit to talk about. Sorry,
Alright.
Silda,
Um,
you said
sorry?
something?
I just... Oi, Masilda.
Alright. I could turn you up slightly there, Ariel. You're a bit quiet for me.
Sorry.
Okay, it's like, he kind of like gestures for you to sit, and all right, well, bit of a job, but it is in the interest of the greater good. Yeah. Father Dario was nice enough to collect you two folk after I inquired in various areas and positions. Of reason to believe that there are a handful of creatures that are recently. They are the effects of magical essence. I believe the two of you are familiar.
Somewhat.
Well, as a, I suppose, brief overview, the way this stuff is created, and you see him kind of go into his pocket and kind of shake a kind of intricate-looking bottle with a kind of glowing, glittery ichor inside of it. He kind of puts it back. Is directly from the corpse of certain monsters that, well, coincide with what the essence is. To obtain such a thing, it must first be applied. For example, if you wanted to, say, have a essence of, oh, maybe a large wolf. Maybe you wanted like a keen sense of smell or something like that. And a appropriate specimen and give it some is potentia. It's literally somewhat raw potential. Fact, but once applied in any manner of ways, injected, inhaled, consumed, grows in strength and grows in ability, almost as if fate to grow and change. After a while, once the essence has fully soaked in and the creature is in a new, stronger stance in its life, to collect such a thing. Now, of course, you'd have to deal with the creature, and given the fact that most of them are creatures you want essence from, they're creatures that might have a bit of difficulty dealing with. But needless to say, I've come across some information that is rather startling. A long time ago, that was basically placed within two creatures that infused within them and were planned to outgrow the ability to leave the cave. Those two beings, I'm not sure if you've heard of them before, but don't worry, I have at least a bit of information. A troll and a flail snail.
Oh no.
Okay, are we looking for? Is there a pun coming
Can
after
I
this?
roll a nature check to see if she's ever heard of these?
Yeah, go for it.
You know.
If the bard would like to make a
No.
nature check as well. just vague knowledge.
Oh no!
Okay, even with a 5 and a 6, I will say you guys understand the idea of trolls. It's kind of, but it's more in your head like a synonymous term, kind of like dragon or goblin. Creature that you probably don't want to trifle with if you're a farmer. I see. It's
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I can see the lack of knowledge in your eyes, but don't let that dissuade you. Creatures. The snail was originally an egg. I'm not sure of. But with raw potential, and placed within an area that, when it reached its full size, would not be able to exit out of. It's a environment that suits it to grow. It's an old abandoned mine. One used for various crystals. Occasionally diamonds, but more so the kind of basic quartz and other things like that, and some formations kind of form with the kinds of gases sealed within. Also within these caves was a severed hand of a troll. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but trolls have this penchant for being able to recover from any injury.
Oof.
Complete dismemberment. Only things that could deal with them is the burning of flame and the burning of acid. And you see him place these two kind of like wrapped packages on the table. Things might aid in your quest, at least for the troll, as we're looking to end its life, and, well, its life is quite stubborn about ending. Once you've beaten the thing and have it left on the ground, one of these should decisively keep it for so long as it's beaten and left inoperable for a time.
No, Devin, I mean you're cutting out.
Oh yeah,
Decisively blank.
you cut off.
This has not been great.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We kind of get the gist, but you cut out for like a couple words at a time sometimes.
Okay, I'm sorry, please, yeah, feel free to let me know that more earlier.
Okay. So we
Check,
can...
check.
Yep, we can decisively... something.
Yes. These bombs should, end its life.
Oh.
As that life can be rather stubborn on its way out.
Okay.
Its consistent healing and regeneration can only be halted by fire and acid, and luckily these little bombs contain both. However, you only have the two. It's all I could find on short notice. Them for the finishing blow when it's left inoperable on the ground. Find yourself in a rough situation. You do have two, and one should be enough to.
One should
That's
be
for the
enough to
deal with it. Nail. I just have the simple warning of be careful with your magic.
Okay.
The shell on its back has particular properties. Thrown at it have a penchant for being flung back, or reflected off, or simply ceasing to function at all.
Does that do anything to, not spells, but magic effects on a weapon?
Mm, broad magical damage should be fine. It's mainly concentrated spells.
Hmm.
If you're just simply dealing damage with a flaming blade or something like that, you should be fine. And you see him kind of go into his shirt pocket again, and he pulls out a kind of folded up square of this like black fabric. He places it on the table and he slides it across. I'd like the two of you to make an Arcana check.
Right.
Or kinda.
That's a 7. That's another 7.
We're in good shape.
Assistant. Right. Well, I suppose magic isn't everywhere nowadays. Though it might stand to be. And you see him unfurl it and flip it out. And he kind of like spreads it out on the table. A portable hole. Like lower his hand into the table. Where once was pure hardwood. This is a means for you to transport something. You see, to deal with both of their corpses in particular ways. Since that they potentially have within them needs to be extracted on site, and I will explain that in a minute. But as well, the snail itself, rather valuable. And sells for quite a lot, especially one with, it could be larger, it could be more effective. It sells for a pretty platinum.
So we bring back the snail. What about the troll?
Like I said, so long as it's dead on the ground and you sprinkle some flames in one of these, and he kind of taps one of the bombs. It should leave its corpse, however. Should you be so inclined, you could bring it back with you, as troll's blood is known for usefulness in potions of healing. It would be a bit of a bonus, though. We're not requiring it, although the hole should have space for it. Oh, lastly, and you see him kind of like with a flourish, pick up the fabric and kind of folds itself back into this, probably like 10-inch by 10-inch square of black fabric, kind of folded on top of top of itself, and kind of just holds it out for someone to take it.
Isilda takes it. Also, 10-inch by 10-inch is bigger than you think.
It's
Sorry.
not 10 foot by 10 foot.
Yeah, no. 10 foot by 10 foot is much, much bigger than you think.
Yes, I know that, but it's
Pretty sure. Doesn't it fold down smaller in the book?
let's see.
I'm pretty sure it gets
Well-
pretty small.
We can check right now. Right, it folds into a circular sheet 6 feet in diameter, so yes, never mind.
10 feet deep. And
Yep, so yeah, it'd probably be closer to, let's say 4 inches by 4 inches.
Sounds about right. I mean,
You can
I
kind
don't
of
speak
roll it up.
English, so I'll
Yeah.
I'll just agree.
dimensions of a handkerchief is a weird phrasing.
20 centimeters by 20 centimeters.
Okay.
Whatever. It's you can put it in your pocket, basically.
Yep.
Now, as for the essence, and you see him once more kind of reach into his pocket and place on the table. And you kind of like looking inside, you see these kind of metal spikes on the inside. These two apparatus should work well for extracting the essence from a recently killed corpse. I mean within the minute.
So,
But if you find yourself harried by other monsters, perhaps hold off on killing it, or at least have someone dedicated to, as it is for the threat they pose. However, we will move on to the next subject, that is payment.
I'm sorry, as it is for the threat they pose. What?
Uh, Basically, he recommends that you make sure you get the essence.
Okay.
And
And
getting the essence is not an issue for the threat they pose.
okay, so we just plug them in and they do the thing themselves, or
Yeah, he'll get to that in a second.
okay.
Rounds to, for each of you, 1,000 gold per essence obtained.
Sounds about right, but can you do a bit better? I mean, there's a lot of restoration I'd love to do on my bio.
Isild's eyes are huge. 1,000 gold per essence obtained per person.
Yep.
Yep.
He kind of raised an eyebrow.
That is.
My good dear, I appreciate your gusto, but I'm coming to you here
Well,
with this job offer.
That is a
You-
great
you-
deal.
You know what they say. What's the worst that you can get when you ask? A no. And I still got my initial offer.
Persuasion check there, Bard.
Sorry?
Roll a persuasion check there, Bard.
Oh. No. Nope.
We are slowly climbing the numbers. Look at this.
Yes.
Yep.
5,
6, 7, 7, 8.
Oh. Oh. keep
We're
going.
trying.
Maybe by the time we get to combat, we'll roll above 10s.
You see him kind of give a chuckle and just... Yes, well, happens when you ask. I could always knock it down to, 500 gold per piece.
I never asked a thing.
Didn't think so. Right, so that'd be, well, 200 platinum for the two of you. Or, should I say, 3 of you.
I'm.
And group.
And I'll look
Not
at
to say I don't have
Isilda and say, you're to be married.
That's a
You see-
reaction you get.
You see Dario like look is like, really?
No. Definitely
Who's
not.
coming?
You see a kind of like a joking sadness on Father Dario's face towards you, Isilda. Well, I have a let's call her eccentric worker under me. It pauses for a second, just Raimi, if you could come in. There's a kind of door further into the room. There's a pause for a second, and there's a loud whack as the door is kicked in and like swings on its hinge. See this seemingly human woman, although Isilda, give me a quick nature check.
Sure. 15. We jumped.
All right, yeah. Just kind of giving a look on the smaller details that will be described in a second. Kind of more so human. You get the more of an ASMR impression.
Yep.
This kind of wild-eyed woman with this shortcut hair, as well as one of the first things that catches your eye is a good portion, about to a half of her face, on the left side is burned and singed in scars. It has this kind of like milky, like pink to it. And she has this like wild look on her face and a smile, and it's like, all right, you two are the ones I'm taking with me. All right, good. And you see her kind of walk forward. I'll show you her art. Second.
Yeah, it's not going to show up on my screen. I'll just kind of scoot it over so it's visible on the video. There it is.
Mm-hmm. As she kind of walks, her heavy armor kind of clinks. Places a hand directly on your head, Shafina.
Well,
And
that's interesting.
goes,
Oh.
yeah, and kind of like put like matches your gaze, and she's like, quite the. You got the armor on you, but I don't know. He looks back, boss. I don't know about this one.
Mm.
And you see Miss Platinum kind of clears thrones. Is a bard with magical know-how, which could prove rather useful in your coming mission.
I'll give her him. I missed that part.
Her.
Her. Okay. The glare.
Oh.
The one glare.
I think that's
Right.
intimidation, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's uncertain. I'm going for like a mixed message. That's
All right. if you're trying to give like a wild, crazy, weird look,
yeah.
yeah.
Something along those
Ariel,
lines.
could you have Raimi roll intimidation back?
Hers! Oh my god!
She kind of like looks back and like raises an eyebrow, and you have this like weird like squished and like toothy sometimes, but kind of smiling but kind of grimacing expression on your face. Looks and just fine. Okay, I think I like her, and just kind of walks over, and kind of like again meets your gaze and just.
You better. We'll be having some fun times, and if you don't like me, I can keep your pay. But that'll be fine and dandy.
To her face like, no, you know what? No, we're doing this and we're getting paid, and you might die, and then I'll get your pay. But I'm just now, Raimi, calm down. She is more proficient in the combat sense. I'll leave the technicals up to you two. Be that
Oh,
essence
good.
collection or using of these, and he kind of like holds out the two bombs, one for each of you.
Isilda takes hers.
I'll take mine.
You don't quite know exactly what they do right now, but I will say you can basically throwing something with proficient. You can basically make a dex check with proficiency.
Can you
Okay.
use strength to really huck it?
Yeah, you could probably use strength as well.
Yes.
Yeah, strength or dex. It's got a range of 20 feet,
Okay.
and it's yeah, past I'd say 20-40 basically, with disadvantage for that extra long range.
Okay.
What was it called again?
It is fire and acid.
It's a bomb.
Oh. Right.
And you even just looking at it, it kind of like gives off this like kind of sulfuric smell.
Nice.
And it's they see there you if you give a bit of a closer look on it, there are these kind of like thin glass vials with this green liquid inside it, kind of wrapped in this kind of fabric, holding something else. Rotten eggs.
She wraps that very, very carefully and very, very thick and puts it in some pouch or pack or something. Easy to grab, but boy, is it protected for now.
And Raimi kind of walks over to you, Isilda.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you? What's with the mask?
It keeps certain things contained.
kind of things.
Let's say if I take this off, keep your distance. It could hurt a bit.
Could do. Burn me?
In a manner
You
of
could if
speaking.
you wanted to.
In a manner of speaking, I'm afraid it's not really fire.
And she kind of like gives you a look and just like, all right, but I can take a hit. And she kind of like pats you on the shoulder. All right, idiots, let's go. Just walks out the door. Tom's like, I wasn't done. You two can catch up with her in a bit. As for the essence, when depressed against something, will shoot out a thin needle. Now, it is up to you to the area to pierce with. There is a kind of localized spot. For example, with the troll, if you chop it into smaller pieces, able to find it out by the one piece that's still moving. However, for something like the snail, a bit more down and dirty, depending. You basically have to look for spots of extra powerful magic on a corpse.
Would a spell like Detect Magic do any good there? Devin?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I said it and guess it didn't go through.
No, it didn't.
He says, yes, I imagine it might.
I'll handle the snail.
Sounds good. I'll take the other one.
He hands you each one. And don't press that side. And there's this kind of like circular cork side like on each of them.
Mm-hmm.
Press that too tightly against anything unless you're sure you want to use it.
And if we use it, we can't bring it back, can we?
You could probably attempt to pierce it yourself, although it ejects the needle is anything you could do by hand.
Okay,
But
so...
if you wanted to, you...
Sorry, between the cutting out stuff, basically we press the cork side against the corpse when we're ready to harvest.
Yep.
Okay. Until then...
And you have to extract from the corpse within a minute.
Okay. And from a special location with lots of magic. With the troll, whatever's still twitching with the snail magic radar.
Yep. Very well work with the troll as well.
Okay.
He also mentioned, and basically that you can use it if the needle has been ejected already, although it is more difficult. Basically, any check you would make, if you fail to do it and you attempt again, would be a disadvantage.
Okay.
Alright.
Cool. Quick parenthesis. Since I gotta take a rapier for the unicorn thingy. What damage does it does? The standard D8?
Yep, standard D8. It would be considered magical for the sake of resistances, though.
Cool. So, piercing. Magical damage. Cool. That's it.
If you're channeling magic through it, then yeah, it would be a magic weapon, technically.
Officially good with the character.
Okay. And you see Platinum once more and just kind of slide forward a rolled piece of paper. Basic map. For the three of you. And try to keep Raimi on the leash if you can. Acted.
I'll take like a quick look at the map. Is it good? Simple? Is it?
Yeah, it's a basic map, but there's general landmarks the two of you wouldn't know in the area.
Okay. I'll just put it in my pocket and I say, "Darling, that's not my thing." And
I also from looking at it should be about a 4-hour travel from your guest just on foot.
Right. 4-hour road trip with these. Alright then.
And like I said, get distracted, but you'll find her quite useful when it comes to trading blows with things. So it's good to keep her around. People ditch her before.
Well, we'll try to make sure she stays near. But
It's appreciated.
we're already a little behind on that.
Yes, you should probably get going. And he kind of like puts a hand out to shake for each of you.
She shakes and immediately goes out the door trying
I
to
expect
find
good
Raimi.
things from you two. And kind of gives a wave as the two of you go out.
I'll say I don't expect the coin from him specifically, and I'll point at Mr. Platinum.
Oh, don't worry. I always pay what platinum is owed. I wouldn't have my name otherwise. So as you go out, you kind of see Raimi picking a fight with a churchgoer.
Ah,
He does seem to be at a kind of like a small little altar to
to a small altar
So-
to who?
Torm.
Torm. Alright.
It is probably more of a kind of rough and tumble
Dear.
worshiper. It's not some old lady.
Hmm.
If Raimi's up to scratch with what you guys are,
Isilde goes over there and goes, sorry, is there a problem?
the seemingly half elf. She's like, yeah, she's looking at me funny or something. I don't know. And you see Raimi just kind of like walk up. He's like, you're staring at my eye, weren't you? Did it? And he's like, I wasn't doing anything.
Aye, sorry, we'll be on our way. And she'll switch over to Celestial, and just to see, she'll ask, do you understand this?
And she responds in like a very like heavy common accent, basically.
Mhm.
And so she's like, yeah, basically.
We got the map, let's go.
And she just kind of like, fine. And kind of turns back and in common, just like, you're lucky there's things better to beat the crap out of than you.
Save your strength, I'm sure you'll need it.
I've got plenty.
Sure you do.
Come on, let's go. And she just takes off running out the front of the church doors,
Do you know
knowing which
where
way you
we're
guys are going.
Just an eager one.
I'll figure it out.
Care to take a map?
No, don't give her the map. You keep the map, or I take the map. I don't think she'd bother reading it.
I'm just trying to keep her about.
Yes, but I don't think she'd bother reading it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's.
Eventually, the two of you catch up. Raimi is kind of like patience for anything that isn't beating the crap out of something.
We got about 4 hours of walking.
Fine. Puts the two hands behind her head and like kind of like starts walking.
I think it's this way.
I knew that. Walks, turns around. All right. Two of you make the trek relatively uneventfully.
Mhm.
And kind of following the map, you kind of head out more more eastward. A a bit to the south as well, just kind of the down and to the right.
Mm-hmm.
And you reach what you think is the area.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, as we go, Isilda's just gonna explain to her two companions that when the mask is on and nothing is happening with it, staying within about 10 feet or so of her is good. When the mask is off and things are happening, get away. Get out of there.
I love the accent.
I'm trying my best. I don't know what I'm doing.
I like it.
I think I'm slowly easing into it, but okay.
Out of there. How much Dragon Prince did you watch in preparation?
I didn't watch any. I watched a 7-minute YouTube video on Irish accents. This is what I'm running on. This is why it's so rough, and especially in the beginning.
I like it.
Sounds good.
Remy just kind of like nods, just like close to me, 10 feet is good, and you see her kind of nod and go along, and then it's like when the mask is off, and she kind of like loses interest in what you're saying.
Well, you'll learn the hard way, I'm afraid.
And just as she's walking, people tell me that a lot.
Yeah, experience is a rough teacher, but very, it sticks to you, I guess.
Like BO?
Well, I suppose never really thought of it like that before. But, yes, it can stink.
And on that insightful note, two of you come across what appears to be like a abandoned mining house. And there's just this kind of like rough kind of break room with some like old rusted pickaxes hanging from the walls and kind of a few benches and tables there, probably for break time. There's a hole in the ceiling. It's a small area, but and kind of from there you're able to follow this walked path, this kind of rough walked path. 2 doors in the side of a hill.
Okay. 2 doors in the side of a hill. Alright.
Yep. Iron mines.
Well, since we're all wearing rather clattery armor, I don't suppose there's any point in trying to sneak this, is there?
Remy goes, got it, and kicks in the 2 doors.
Let's direct at least. She puts her shield on and pulls out her morning star and kind of lets it swing.
And the 2 of you kind of get down.
I can't keep up with their momentum, at least not with Remy, so I'm just like dumbfounded.
As the 2 of you kind of make your way down these kind of like echoey corridors as your metal does jangle.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
You do reach a crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this old weathered sign that you can kind of just blow dust out of to make a better view of. It goes into the crystal mines. And another goes into the prison.
Prison. Oh. Well, I wonder if they tried to keep the beasties in cages. Of course, if they got out, then it could be anywhere. She's gonna start pinging detect magic.
Alright. Give that click for me if you have it.
I do. It's gonna say it's cast as a ritual just 'cause that's where it is, but
No problem.
it's
Feet.
yeah, it's only 30 feet and it's blocked by enough stone, wood, or dirt.
So where you're at right now, you just kind of give a ping and nothing really pops up on your radar other than your companions.
She's gonna keep the ping going for intermittently as she goes.
Well, then, which direction are you guys going? Would you like to go to the crystal mines first or the prison first?
Well, I think I've got a copper on me. Heads, prison, tails, crystal?
Sounds about right.
Crystals. She picks up the copper and carefully pockets it.
That's about as fast as any party has solved this kind of conflict in my lifetime of D&D.
So, two of you, or three of you, sorry, keep messing that up, kind of start stumbling and clanking down the hall towards the crystal mines. You do see the mentioned kind of formations. These kind of like small little sparkles on the walls and ceiling. There's these tiny little like gems. They're almost like big snowflakes. Kind of forming and spiking out from the sides in these like light colors of this like pale green and blue and red.
She's gonna cast light on one of the crystals, like up on the
Alright.
ceiling, and let it scatter.
You tap it and you do so, and the light like diffuses through it. Any particular color?
A very, very pale blue.
Alright, yep. Yeah, you just go up, tap a blue crystal, and the whole room is kind of just like diffused with this kind of low, cold light. Which is good because you would have dark vision, right?
We all have dark vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's not too much of an issue of traversing, although you're not able to see like all the way down the halls or anything. And the light crystal does kind of help to it's not a bright light. However, it is a light for 50 feet rather than 20 bright, 20 dim.
Okay.
I believe, yeah, dark vision is dim light treated as bright light, and no light treated as dim light.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You're seeing pretty well. Do you take the crystal with you?
Can it just be snapped off and carried?
Give me a dexterity check. Yep, I know. You go, and your big metal gauntlets just the whole thing, and it just kind of scatters into dust, and the spell fades.
I'll just say, well, that didn't turn out all right. Let me help you with that, and I'll tap her.
What are you tapping?
Her shoulder.
That's going to confuse things later, just so you know.
So you are currently glowing.
This is really going to confuse things later on if I have to take the mask off. But for now, I suppose. Does
Zasilda have a shield?
She does.
I'll say for the sake of this, your shield is giving off the light.
Alright.
Whole being.
Yeah. Glowy
what?
shield.
Actually reach a point as these kind of like not quite stairs, but these kind of like staggered dig-outs of the ground kind of go downwards. I will move you, and the two of you should be on the southmost.
Okay.
And as the three of you walk, damn it, I'd like all three of you to make perception checks.
Yay.
I'm good at that.
Okay, Isilde first.
All
Holy.
right.
I'm really good at that.
And, yeah, I don't think it matters, but I want to see how
Yeah.
low I can get. Oh!
Oh my
Our
goodness.
other-
Oh.
Ooh!
Okay, so all three of you kind of like instantly notice this crunch under your foot. And when there isn't a crunch, there's this kind of like slidiness, like you're on ice. And all of you look down, and what was previously kind of like along the side of the wall, from the looks of it, is kind of along the ground. This like thin sheet of like glass almost as you're going down. It's not enough where it's difficult terrain or anything, but there's this kind of like light slide underfoot, and if you press down hard enough, it does crack.
Ping
Is audible, so stealth is kind of way out the window by this point.
We weren't even trying. Also pinging detect magic.
Yep. And you do so, and you give a look, and it has this very faint glow of magic.
Like, this stuff is
It's less it is magical, more it was made by magic.
this stuff was made by magic, I guess. I think we might be close to one of the things. Do trolls make magic glass?
I don't really think so, but
I'll ask the two of you to give me another nature check.
It doesn't ring a bell, but the other one maybe. Never heard of
I
a
mean-
flail snail before.
it's could be an ice snail. Yeah, it's
Just
long
reveal
shot,
that
but
for you as well.
is it chilly down here? Like, is it actually cold?
There is a bit of a bite to the air.
But not quite enough, like, to freeze water.
Freezing or anything, no.
Okay, so I'll say yeah. This isn't.
It's also, you know, snails leave trails that kind of glitter sometimes.
Mhm.
Nothing like this, but
Oh.
like regular snails do.
Might be an old trail.
Might
How
be.
big that thing is? Again,
How wide is the trail?
About anywhere from 5 to 10 feet.
who?
Ooh. If this is the thing's trail, it's
Actually, sorry, I'm like poorly thinking of dimensions. Yeah, probably more from like 6.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because it doesn't fill the space. So yes.
Yep.
Still, that's wider than Isilde is tall. So
Yeah, you see Rainy just like pull out this like great sword and start dragging it along the glass ground. There's kind of like occasional very high pitched screech that happens on a chalkboard, and she's like, "That means it's close. Let's do it."
might not be that close if it's already frozen.
well, we came down here to kill a monster. Let's go.
She starts
find it.
taking off into the dark.
I'll follow.
Nick, do you have a token?
I think so. Let me. Damn it! It's gigantic white cube.
There we go.
Good enough.
No problem.
She's zooming on ahead, and Isilda's keeping behind.
And as each of you kind of start to walk, you see the area you're in kind of open up to a much wider, seemingly.
I'll be slow in pace, just not to sleep on this thing. If it's glass like it, I don't think it'll get along with my shoes.
I'll say with your two natural 20 perceptions, you are able to see the trail basically go off direction.
That way.
As if on cue. Oop, that's not polygon.
Oh yeah.
Slowly sliding into the source of the noise. Very large snail.
Oh god. Yep.
My lifelong fears
Yep.
enacted.
Whatever Isilde was imagining,
Fires.
it was not that. Oh, a dire flail snail at that. Oh boy. Let's do this thing.
Alright. It does not immediately attack you or anything.
I'm pretty sure I know what her action is gonna be.
Yeah, pretty much. But I am giving you guys the chance to do anything else if you would like to.
Yeah, I'd like to use my persuasion skills just to
It's the snail.
hold on. Not to the snail, to Remy.
Right. You see her like kind of like going into like a quick walk towards it.
No, I know, Remy. It seems a wonderful and beautiful idea to stick your sword right through that thing, but I think it's gonna be a bit fairly more difficult than that. And it might save you a few bruises here and there if you wait up a bit.
Give Remy a charisma save there, Ariel.
Charisma save, and the same as a check. 10.
She kind of like stops for a sec and is like, "You saying we can beat up better if you have a plan?"
Well, I don't want to tie all your skills to like a cumbersome plan, but what do you say you prepare an attack for when it strikes? For now, it seems like a bit dull to and unattentive to us. What does the snail look like? Like, is it doing anything specific? Has it
It's like
acknowledged?
It's slowly sliding. It seems you see some of the kind of tentacles on its head kind of pointing in your direction, almost like
No.
like in the same way a
Acknowledges.
cat might just kind of like glance to the side and then keep walking. And
Okay.
it just kind of very slowly slides across the room.
Do you think
See?
Do you think we should check out some of these little areas on the side? Make sure there's no more friends? Oh, by the way,
That may be a good start. Yeah.
before we sit out too far, let's 1 moment. And she casts aid, and everybody's hit point maximum and current hit points increases by 5, and it just plain lasts 8 hours. So that'll get us through the
All right.
dungeon. Add 5 to your hit points and hit point maximum.
Nice.
The snail kind of slowly make its way.
Is there a way where the snail could... Well, yeah, here.
There's an exit
On
kind
the
it's
top,
going
yeah.
up. Yep.
Sorry.
Just
Oh,
slowly kind of gliding along.
I'll like slowly walk up.
Overly concerned with you.
let's check that way.
Right.
Peek around the side.
Polygon reveal. As you see this other kind of rounded out area nearby. And you give a look in on the inside, it does seem to be kind of a similar break room. Or like old decrepit tables and chairs. Seemingly some like gloves and boots and armor kind of scattered about. Long abandoned.
One second. She's gonna peer around this corner.
Right. You see the hallway continue onwards.
She looks back. No. Supposing this tool is, in the same area. We don't want to tangle with both at once, do we? Probably not.
No, not at all.
So, do we, follow that one and wait till it corners itself, or explore more?
You see the snail
I'll
kind of
look over
slowly
my
continue
shoulder.
making its way up.
It seems like rather dull. I'll let me take a quick look, and I'll just look over here on a quick stroll.
You see the caves seemingly continue onwards.
Hmm.
Seems to be a bit of a maze, but okay. Since we're not in a hurry, what do you say we tackle the one up top?
Just to
Let's see how it goes from there. It looks like it made quite a few pathways out of here. Might just be strolling about.
Alright, you give a look in, and you see the snail kind of just like put its like maybe a mouth, part of its head kind of toward this small crystal formation kind of jutting out of the corner of one of the walls. Just kind of seems to be sitting there enjoying it.
Oh. I think it ate crystals.
Huh? That's nice. Let me just...
See Raimi kind of like walking up and kind of like impatiently tapping her foot.
Just a bit. Give us a second.
Give me another persuasion check.
Another
You get a save for Raimi. Yep.
7.
And just kind of like scrunches up her face and it's like.
And I'll try to...
You get the slight impression this might have been a thing that's happened before, and she's kind of not quite learned from it, but.
And I'll try to use my telepathy on the snail.
All right.
Say, I'll say, okay, I'll try to communicate with this thing just for a quick bit, and if it goes south, we can take action, and if it doesn't, we can also take action on it. And I'll like connect my mind with it and ask, "Hi, sentient being, are you fine with us being here? Are you even upset? Do you like crystals? What's your thing?"
And there's just like a pause. You get like the mental equivalent of like white noise. Vague understanding of the word crystal. That seems to be munching on one. I'm going to just go ahead and say these things have an intelligence of 3.
They do not understand language.
They do not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
I'll bump my head and say, I might have gotten Urami instead.
She kind of looks like, I didn't hear anything.
Never mind. And are we good to go? Isilde?
Let me get a quick look.
Raimi looks like good to go.
Look.
All right. Gone rural until recently, but I would like it so much now. Cavern seemed to continue.
I might be able to circle around. Wait there a moment. Just gonna peek around this upper corner. You can probably see down the side as well, but
Does not seem like you can circle around. However,
she comes back. Oh.
she kind of... You almost miss it, but kind of like stored in this corner over here. A pile of slimy-looking eggs.
Oh. Ooh, that's probably not good.
What's that there?
Give me half a moment. Just gonna sneak in there. Just gonna ping detect magic.
You do so, and kind of... I'm assuming you also did that for the snail before, and...
Yeah.
And kind of just vague elemental magic to it. It's a magical creature.
Alright. The eggs Are they, like, particularly magical? They the same thing?
Mm,
Basically?
yeah, your best guess would be, I mean, the snail's the only thing you've seen in this area. It's
Yeah.
that same kind of like sickly yellow goo to it.
Basically, the wondering thing
Easton-
is, are they...
Just
Sorry?
they are also kind of encased in that same glass you guys were crunching on before.
Okay. Is the glass rooted to the ground?
Not rooted, but kind of just slathered along the like on the wall and to the ground.
Basically, the thought is, if these eggs are potentially imbued with the same, like, potentia as presumably their parent, do we not want to leave these laying around?
Right. Give me an Arcana check then.
So good at those. 12!
Even with a 12, your best guess is it's probably not. There is a lot of magic coming from the snail over there, and there's not quite as much. And also, what was said before about Potentia and Essentia,
Mhm.
like knowledge from beforehand, it once it turns into like the essence of the creature, and it kind of sets in basically.
It's not hereditary.
It's not hereditary, and it's not like transferable in any way.
Yes, but,
That was like just injected with Potentia, and then kind of like a few days later eaten by a larger creature. The larger creature could get it,
Oh,
but if it's had it in its system for like a year and then was eaten, there wouldn't be much that would happen. The larger creature might get something, but it's not likely in the slightest.
alright.
And it's honestly probably just more.
However, flail snail eggs in general. Basically, Isilda is debating putting out the portable hole and packing them in.
Um. You can make one more nature check.
So good at those. as
Any
well.
vague esoteric. Nope.
No, she'll come back and decide to ask the others. Probably one more than the other, but nope, can't get around. If we go from one side, we're gonna have a bit of a problem.
You see, just as the snail kind of finishes up the crystal it's eating, making its way back this way.
She backs up.
I'll move.
Raimi is kind of like has the you can see the teeth set and the tendon in the neck. Slowly slithers by you.
Alright, let's get it now.
Okay, I want. Well,
I need everyone to roll initiative.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because Remy just got permission.
Damn it. Do it for her as well.
Yeah, I got it.
Nice.
Oh, we are beautiful. Yes. Yes, okay. This is gonna go so well. Do we still go
Okay.
first? Or does the snail realize we're moving?
I'm gonna have the snail make a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, it's hard to tell.
Indifferent.
It seems to you see the flails kind of like twitch in like a ready position. If you attack it now, you would absolutely not have the drop on it by any means.
Yeah, fair.
It seemed to be actively attacking you right this second.
Yeah.
See? Hold on, I think I still have some music left.
Oh, good. 'Cause, yeah. This is happening now. Alright.
Turn Isilda.
Yep. Yep.
And you saw before, it was previously kind of shirking away from you because of the light you were emitting.
Oh, it's really not gonna like this. She Well, charges on forward, shield still glowing, and she whirls the morning star over her head and brings it down probably against that shell. Just gonna... Oh yeah! That's a critical, and we're gonna go ahead and drop our first smite on it because of course.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just do a first level, just to feel things out, because I'm doubling the damage anyway, so that's a 4d... I am reminding myself, 8 radiant damage. So, 9 plus 5 plus 5 plus 8 plus 20, unless it is immune to radiant.
Alright, so what's the total there?
Do you want the radiant separate from the piercing?
Add it all together.
Okay. 10 plus 20, 30, 39, 47.
Alright.
On the first attack.
Okay, so you run up and you just like it's you see it like sugar and like a few of the foil like get ready to strike at you, but you immediately just go and give it a slash, and one of the flails falls off.
Oh god. All right. Second attack.
and confident with what you've done, you go for the second one, and you see its flail meet your flail, send it off to the side, and just uselessly deflect on the shield, on the shell rather.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. I'll call that good, I think.
It was holding its attack.
Yes. Of course it was.
So.
Lay it on me.
Make as many attacks as it has tentacles.
Oh, fun.
Currently has 4. Mainly only ever targets one creature. And you just attacked it.
Uh-huh.
Will be against you.
Give it to me.
Before.
Oh god. Oh god, that was a vengeance crit. That was such a vengeance crit. Okay. So I've got a DC 16 Constitution save. By the way,
that's only if you get hit by all 4.
Oh no, hit, miss. All right, so 13 plus 5 plus 10. 28. 28.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As you see the tentacles just like start flailing towards you, and you understand why it has its name now.
Mm-hmm.
A few bounce off your shield, but 2 of them like hit. One hits in the side of your head, the other like hits right in the side of your hip, and you just feel it like pop. All right.
I'm all right.
So Shafina, it is your turn.
I don't know if I want to step out, but I'll try something. I won't take my rapier yet, but I'll say this should be quick, and I'll cast polymorph on it.
All right.
How is this helping us? I mean...
All right. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Remove that.
Would you like to take that back?
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta kill this thing. This is not an escape situation.
I mean, we could kill him yet, still,
No,
but we do have to collect some stuff.
It's not gonna help.
I'll do... What's this again?
What would you like to do instead?
I'll do 2 regular attacks with my rapier.
All right.
That's this and this.
Fourth with the first, and you kind of like nick it in the side, but you do not sever a tentacle.
Oh.
And kind of you see it kind of like slowly slide around, but even then you kind of it's hard to reach, and your rapier clatters against the shell once more.
Well, it is a bit cumbersome, but let's see if your eagerness helps us a bit. Remy?
Right.
Okay,
So, yep, it would be Remy's turn.
Remy is going to do that, of course.
All right.
Charge in. And, yeah. Okay. What is the difference between regular and burning? Is burning during the burning rage?
That would be one with the extra d6 on it.
Yeah. I'm just, looking at it. It's just slightly lower to hit. Can she choose between them? I'm not
Is
sure.
it? It should be the same to hit.
It's a different to hit.
Is it 9 and 10?
It's 10 for the first and 9 for the second.
Yeah, that one should be a 10. She has a +1 weapon.
I'll
if that
fix
can
it.
go through on the second one, then yeah.
It didn't. I fix it. Anyway, what I was asking is, do I click the burning one because she chooses it, or do I click it because it just happens when she rages?
No, it just happens when she rages.
Alright, that's what I wanted to know. So, we're gonna go ahead and do 2 attacks. Boom. Boom.
First one will hit, second one will also hit.
Nice.
You see her, you see her like kind of like, you see these like veins kind of pop on her neck, side of her face. These little flames start licking off the side of her, from the side of the face down onto the arm, and she kind of like grips the blade, and the flames shoot up the side of the blade. And she swings twice, and both hit, and she lops off another one of the tentacles.
Alright. So
You see the fire just kind of go across it, seemingly not affecting it.
Aha. Okay.
However, it is now the flail snail's turn. And it is going to. You see it kind of shudder for a second, and then this like, what was normally just this kind of like action of any and all light in the room, kind of start to glow a bit more and more intensely, as it will
Mm-hmm.
emit a light from its shell.
Creatures I can see have disadvantage or attack rolls. Any creature within bright light, unable to see. Or be
So I need the three of you to make me a DC 16 Wisdom save.
Oh boy.
Whew.
Okay, okay.
Not good at those.
Zilda's fine.
No, not
Raimi,
good.
on the other hand.
Mm,
Okay.
Alright, so
Until
Attacks.
the end of the snail's next.
yep, Safina.
Oh.
Yep. Safina and Raimi are both currently stunned,
Well, this is gonna be a quick round.
and as well, yep, so that you just kind of, you're able to kind of quickly avert your eyes fast enough. You basically move your mask up slightly such that your eyes aren't immediately in it.
Mhm.
They'll readjust, and this thing is bright.
Okay.
You have a hard time kind of seeing its form as a whole, other than just the shell, which you know is kind of not the best to swing at.
Yep. Okay.
It is now your turn.
All right. I am debating whether to. Oh. I can use my action on that, or I can use my action to whack a thing. No, it's, nope, they're stunned, so I can't do that. Sorry.
From
Yeah. I forgot about that. Oh well. Oh, she can do that as a bonus action. Sorry, paladin spells. Creature attacks the warded creature. Saving throw. Well, she cannot cover both, so. unfortunately, she cannot pick and choose between them. That's an action, that's an action. Yeah, she's just gonna shout, hope to attract its attention onto her, and, deal out 2 more weapon attacks, I guess.
Alright. These would be
Yeah,
a disadvantage.
Do I have disadvantage on the attack rolls? Oh,
A creature within bright light.
And I
Tables.
can see it. Okay. That's true. So maybe I go for something else with my action, just to make that a little easier. No, that's concentration. Features of these types of advantage on attack rolls against the target. Ba-da-ba-da. Yeah, it's likely to go for the other 2 anyway. Sorry. Just trying to figure out what's fun. Yeah, that aura of protection would not have helped those saves, so I'm just reading all my stuff again. Screw it. I'll take the 2 disadvantaged attacks.
Alright.
Alright, 25.
That one hits.
Nice. So 7 plus 4.
Alright.
And,
It's 11.
That's it.
One of it kind of like skids across the shell, but the other you feel you kind of hit something soft. However, it does not lose a flail, unfortunately.
Oh, I lost a nat 20 on that. Oh well.
Whew.
20 and 18. Okay. That is going to be it for... Actually, she'll reposition here slightly just so that she's within 10 feet of both allies for the sake of
Alright.
saves and things. Alright.
Shavina, your son, Raimi, is stunned. Or be stunned until the light ends.
Yeah, at the end of this creature's next turn. So it gets its turn and then the light goes away.
Yeah.
Yep, so...
Oh, I could have held that attack until the light ended, but that would have been on the start of my turn anyway. Oh well.
It is going to target the bard. 3. So you're not in threat of being stunned again. Advantage against you. 3.
Ooh. I think one of those might miss.
What's your AC, Safina?
Nick, you there?
Yeah, sorry.
What's your AC?
It's 16.
Alright.
So we got...
Then you take 17 bludgeoning damage.
Whew.
As you're kind of like reeling and your eyes are... Your vision has gone completely white from the colors, and there's like just dancing dots and stars everywhere. And you just hear whap whap as you get these 2 flails to the one to the side of your head and another in your gut.
Also, well, I probably was just like, oh, okay. That was a bad start for...
So I won't get the license plate of that snail.
Oh.
Alright. Isilda, once again.
That snail was too slow.
Alright. That's gonna be another couple of attacks because I don't really have any spells that I'm interested in using at this time against this creature yet. So there's a 1. There's a... Oh yeah, I'm gonna drop another smite on that.
Go. Hold on, let me do math real quick.
Yeah, okay. 10 plus 4 plus 8, 12, 22, plus another 10, 32 points of damage.
32 total.
32 total.
For the smite, you could?
Alright. Since it's a critical, I'm gonna drop another first level.
Alright.
I'll do a bigger one at some point, but 15.
Yeah, that'll be enough. How do you want to do this?
All right.
Phew.
The light fades from the snail, and it instead light intensifies around Isildur's flail.
Hmm.
So there's like a
I love
ramping off and on from two creatures in this room.
I love the contrast of glowing and flails and big shield.
Yep. And she just one blow skims across the some of the flails, I guess, and the other one cracks down solidly in the center of its snaily. It doesn't have a skull, but the fleshy
Yep.
head.
Yep, and you place one solidly, and you hear this like high-pitched shriek come out for half a second, and then just quickly is cut silent. Slowly lowers down. You see the flails kind of like fall to the side, and kind of the ones that are left. Although you did knock another one clean off, the last two kind of just like slowly curl into it.
All right. It's probably going to be your next turn because that's her full action, but she's immediately going to start. Well, bonus action she can ping that detect magic, but she's going to start getting ready to extract essence as soon as she finds the spot.
Yeah. I'll say with that, combat will end. I'll just put on the ambient. Right. With your, I will say, make a perception check with advantage on your check magic.
Okay. Okay. 16, I'm afraid.
With your detect magic, it was also a low DC.
Okay.
And put it at 15. So
Oh, enough.
you are able to see this kind of like faint pulse as you see the kind of like overall magic kind of leave its body as the life leaves it.
All right, I see.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to make out at first because the shell itself does have this like raw magic to it that remains even after its death. It's a small kind of localized point, just under the shell, kind of along the top on its back,
Mhm.
kind of where the shell kind of like curves up and goes over it. It's about 1 or 2 inches just past that and within.
I've got the spot, and she takes out the syringe thing and the bottle or whatever, and then she pauses. Does this take steady hands?
As the
Somebody else
GM,
might need
as
to
the
do
GM
this.
clarifies, you can make either a sleight of hand check or a survival check.
Yeah, that's a choice between a -1 and a +1 for me.
And you would
She's
also again, because if you know exactly where it is, you would do so at advantage.
Yeah, but even then, it's like I could do help action for somebody with better hands because she can show exactly where it is.
All right.
Basically, I'm looking at the bard.
Yeah, if
Steady hands
if
or
it
good
fills
with,
you.
or good with creatures and wilderness and all that.
A surgeon, they call me sometimes, but it's not my thing. At least I got the steady hands for it.
Get
Alright.
right
I'll
here.
take the
I'll show you the spot. It's right here, little up, bit over.
take a look.
All right. What's your just out of curiosity? What's your sleight of hands modifier?
+5.
You can make a sleight of hand check at advantage.
Advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Whew. Nice.
Actually, no. Sorry. DC 10.
Oh.
Still would have made it, but okay, good.
As a just general rules, for when this is used again, the CR is its CR. Sorry, it's the DC is either its CR or 10, whatever's higher.
All right.
So it's not impossible, but you can mess it up a bit.
Okay.
However, with that, yeah, you see the you like slowly place the kind of like cork circle and you line it up and get the angle just right, and you hear this as you see the metal spike from like in the vial kind of just quickly shoot out. There's this kind of pause, and there's as you see these a few runes kind of light up on the side of this metal cylinder, and slowly filling up is this kind of glowing yellow substance. It's kind of got this glittery gold color to it, kind of like the craft glue. If it was a bit kind of like bit less thick. You also do see these kind of like almost like small little like small pieces in it of little like tiny crystals and gems that seem the same color as the shell.
This is strange to say the least, but it's money, so.
And yep, just as well, just if you do tend to ping at all, Isilda, this is raw magic.
Mm-hmm.
Full, and it has a lot of possibilities within it.
Okay, yep. Well, I can see why put such a price on it. Well, potentially.
You see Raimi kind of like give the corpse a kick after you're done. It's like, all right, well, we gotta take it back too. Hanky.
One moment. And she's gonna spread out the portable hole right next to it. Probably over on the other side of it where there's a little more space. Just right over there. And it's like, it might be a bit of a squeeze, but I think we can get it in there.
Does occur to you that the shell is durable, but you could probably keep it in nicer condition. So I would ask if you are kind of pushing it and lowering it into the hole to make a strength check.
Yep.
If you'd like, you can ask Raimi.
Isilda is gonna go in on it, and she's gonna ask Raimi for a help.
Yeah.
I'll say
or she'll help, and Raimi will do whichever.
Well, I'll bet Raimi can't even push this thing.
It's like, I can push it fine, shut up, and it just like hops in the hole. And just like, okay, slide it down, I'll kind of lower it.
Alright, so Isilda's strength check and then Raimi's strength check?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, in that order. 20 and 17.
Yeah, you two of you kind of lower it rather expertly. There's you do see Raimi lose her footing at some point because it is like a multi-dimensional hole in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Solid bottom. But the snail is lowered and the body seems to be in good condition. Outside of the kind of battle wounds you dealt it previously.
Haul Raimi back out, and Isilda's gonna go, alright, there might be one more thing for us to take back with us.
You see Raimi kind of just like with the side of her foot kind of kicking the cut off flails into the hole.
Yeah. I found a few eggs. I don't know if those would be of value, but maybe.
I mean, if you know where they are, I mean, these things are kind of pricey as they are, even without the essence in them. I've killed a few and gotten money from wizards and stuff. They make shields out of the shells.
Just gonna gather up the portable hole, scoot over to where the eggs were, put it down, and see if she can kind of get the eggs in there intact.
Alright. It does kind of help that they are kind of covered in this glass layer.
Mm-hmm.
You need to remove that glass from the ground.
She's gonna kind of pry at it a bit with one of her javelins.
Alright.
Chip the base a bit.
You could either make a dex check.
No.
You take it out, or you can make a strength check to break the dirt around it.
Let's break the dirt around it.
See, but
14.
You're kind of going and you're making work. You don't like accidentally hit them or anything, but you're kind of just like jabbing at the rock, and it's fairly solid. Okay, make a quick just raw intelligence check.
12.
Pickaxe is back in the room you passed by.
Alright. She'll poke her head down the hallway and shout for, can somebody go and find a pickaxe?
You need a pickaxe for.
To break the dirt.
And there's a pause, and it's like, fine. Metal is. Raimi walks off,
Clang,
comes
clang,
back,
clang, clang, clang.
goes over, and kind of like lightly tosses, but it still like embeds itself in the wall next to you. And kind of somewhat rusty pickaxe.
Okay. She'll take that, and she'll start trying to chip at the dirt with that.
I'll ask for a strength check with proficiency.
Okay, so
Basically,
basically a
or
weapon
pick a few times.
Basically
Yeah, so basically a weapon
attack.
tech.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, DC 18. So, are able. There's still some like dirt stuck to the bottom of it, but for the most part, you kind of have it as this kind of one solid unit, about 5 feet by 5 feet.
Alright. And she's gonna... This thing she's gonna tie a length of rope around from her explorer's pack, and she's gonna kind of lower it carefully over the edge into the hole, and then...
Yep, and you can do so, and you kind of like lightly place it against its dead parent.
Yep. And then fold up the hole, and... Alright. Are we interested in poking around this place, or should we head to the other one and hope that the other beastie is over there?
I mean, we can take a quick look around.
Let's take a poke.
The X might be a bit of trouble if we look them here.
All right. So each of you just give me an investigation check.
Alright. In the meantime, she's doing a little bit of lay on hands on herself to get back that, what I lose, 28 hit points? Yeah, 28, so. Sorry, trying to do math. 27. Yep. Investigation. This is going to be wonderful across the board. Here is Isilde,
Oh, yeah.
and here is Raimi. Yeah.
All right. So Raimi is just kind of throwing rocks at a wall,
Mhm.
not actively looking for anything. So you go and you check the area you kind of left off before.
Okay.
I'll just move you over there,
Excellent. Thank you.
and you find
As the polygon tool goes off.
a seemingly sleeping goblin.
Oh my goodness.
With this high pitched kind of snore going. It's kind of this like, yep, very much. This kind of like scrounged together like hay and rag bed, kind of just in the middle of the ground.
Oh. Poor wee chap. Wonder if he has information. She's not stealthy. She's not stealthy at all.
Apparently, did just sleep through that entire ordeal you just had.
Yeah, which is why she is going to try to sneak over. And does it have a weapon next to it?
Has a weapon about off to the side, maybe about 5 feet.
She'll go over to the weapon and kind of pick it up and take it back, lean it against the wall.
It's kind of this like rough-looking, somewhat rusted scimitar.
Alright. She'll kind of tuck it into a corner, like back here. around the bend, and then just kind of...
Did you hear me?
Did you hear what?
Give me a stealth check.
Sure.
I know it's terrible, but it is not a high DC.
11!
So you're kind of sneaking around and you're jangling, but and there's the occasional back, but you don't seem to wake him up.
And after retrieving and stowing the scimitar, she's going to call up the tunnels. I found a friend! And then she's gonna come back and stand here.
Alright. I'm assuming you basically go up a bit further,
Just a
so
bit,
it's not
just
directly in earshot.
well, she doesn't care so much. He can wake up at
Okay.
this point, but she's gonna shout she found a friend to the others and they can join her.
Alright.
Maybe it might take a bit.
You do so, and you seem like slightly stirred, but again, just kind of
She'll wait until she
remain on the
hears-
ground.
She'll wait until she hears the others kind of about there-ish coming down the corridor.
And you hear the dragging of the blade against the stone again as Raimi's walking up.
Just gonna go over and crouch down with the shield kind of at her side. Just gonna reach out and poke the shoulder.
You see the eyes kind of like start to twitch, but not fully open. Like a half a second to do anything else if you'd like.
Hello there.
And you see him like jump back and like go and grab for the weapon that, well, previously was theirs, no longer.
I took care of that for a second. You'll have it back, but well.
And you see Raimi come. It's like, hey, you found a midget.
I suppose I did. Anywho, can you understand me?
Yes.
Good. That makes things so much easier. No,
And you see him kind of like slowly backing up against the wall and noticing he doesn't have much of anywhere to go. And Raimi's kind of walking over. It's like, so what are we gonna do to him?
ask a few questions, and perhaps
You see
leave him
the
to his
expression
own-
kind of lower. It's like, yeah, and then what?
Leave him to his own, as long as he's not about to try and club us over the head with a rock.
And she kind of like turns, like, you gonna do that? And he's nope, and like has his hands up.
Or stab us in the back.
And he's in.
Right. No. Have you seen, I'm sure you've seen the, snaily beast. Colourful, flashy lights.
Also, Shafina, you would be hearing this commotion kind of going on.
So, we have another-
Although,
Mhm.
sorry, real quick at the same time, Shafina, you would also have just seen the area. There wasn't much outside of just kind of more caverns, a few more crystals, but really not much to speak of. And
I'll just join them by. I'll come by playing my
There.
lute. Unaware of the
ominous salute
situation.
music comes from down the hall.
And I'm humming. Say, what do we have here?
And the guy was like, just look, just let me go, and everything will be okay.
Information.
Funny that Rembly there didn't stab you
Wait,
already. She's
wait.
waiting her to do so
Hold.
with.
Hold on a moment. So, have you seen another creature around here? Here or down the other side?
I
Tall.
mean, there's a few tall.
Tall, perhaps. We don't really know. We know they're called a troll.
And he kind of looks. He does have like this very kind of like broken common to him. Big, hungry.
Probably.
No, hungry, and like, make an insight check.
Sure. 12.
12. You get the understanding that he doesn't mean hungry as in a description, he means hungry as in a name.
Ooh. He's called what he is?
He kind of like slowly nods, like, we work under hungry.
Oh.
Bring him food and other green things.
Is he hard, boss?
He sometimes eats us.
I'd call that hard. So, How does it sound if we remove hungry? No more
I-
being eaten?
Kind of.
Kinda good?
Can't beat them.
Well,
You guys see?
you'll never know until we try.
He tried. Everyone ate.
Well, if he eats us, we won't tell him where we got the information. Just tell us which way to go and we'll see about solving the problem. Either way, it's something out of your hair, isn't it?
And he kind of like very, still very uncomfortable with the situation. He just like slowly nods. Pre-zone.
Ah, the other side. All right, that simplifies that.
He sits in the back.
Are there more of you? Does he use you as guards or distractions?
That's his head.
He nods his head. Do you suppose you could have a bit of a chat with your fellas and clear him out for us?
He kind of like
note
shakes
to
his
the
head. It's
way?
like no. They found out. They find out I'm eating.
All right, I suppose. Though, I tell you what, it won't be pretty if we have to go through them.
Sorry to interrupt, but do you get something from them? At least we can give you something in for your work. Is he paying you? How does he treat you and all your bunch?
We live here. He things.
He what?
Sometimes he eats us, but we used
mean,
to stay for Goblin.
We can solve the eating part if you want to be the kings of this cave.
He kind of looks. It's like I just want sleep.
Will.
Snail, so I stay here. Snail doesn't hurt, but they don't trust Snail, and I hide over here. And
Oh, Will. You might not be seeing much of the snail for a bit. Ever. Sorry.
he kind of looks and kind of looks down. It's like, oh, kill hungry.
Yes. That's what we mean to do anyway.
He kind of turns his head and is like, hungry never fight Snail. Don't like Snail. Hell, maybe?
Help, maybe?
Out there.
Didn't
Basically-
quite hear.
That hungry never fought the Snail.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like to. So if you beat the Snail, you could stand a chance, maybe.
Yeah.
And he kind of just, I stay here, you go.
Well, I suppose that's as good as it'll get.
Also, Nay, one of you.
Sorry, one of you what?
All.
Oh?
We didn't hear a lot of that, Devin. Also, one
Oh.
of you.
Yeah, no, that's what he says.
Just also one of you?
In Prisone.
Oh. Ooh, oh. I see. Right. Well, we'll see about that. Carry on with your nap. You'll find your sword around the corner.
He just kind of slowly kind of moves to the side. Raimi just looks back and is like, not gonna get his head off.
No, just
There's no need.
bugger off for a bit, and I'll want to look over what is he sleeping on.
It's like a pile of like hay and like mushrooms and rags.
I'll throw him
Corn remains of a boot.
my bedroll. Just
Kind of like
the
looks
second
down and looks up, like almost confused.
Oh, sorry. I'll like cut the string on it, and it'll probably untumble. He said, "You lay on it." It's
He kind of like slowly just kind of like takes it in his arms and just kind of bunches it up and like walks to the corner, like still like half expecting you to, as Raimi said, cut his head off.
have a nice one.
And she just like reaches into her pocket, like pulls out this like long throwing knife and just like whips it right beside his head and just sticks into the stone behind him. And he's like, ah! Kind of chuckles to herself as she walks.
Better flight this way.
Yeah, I know.
Sure you don't want to miss out on it?
So I will move you guys, as I'm assuming you're basically beelining from it to the prison.
Mm-hmm, basically.
So,
Well, in the first fight, at least you spend most of the time like me, with your hands over your eyes. So let's hope we do a little bit better on this one.
shut up. So the two of you kind of make your way back and kind of follow the trail back up the stairs, back to that fork, towards the pre-zone.
Yeah.
May I just drag you on there, Shafina?
Mm-hmm. You... Oh, you and me there.
She's probably there. Front.
Yeah.
And as you're kind of walking, there is the clanking of metal.
Yep. Oh, we are the anti-stealth party.
Oh yeah.
Ding, ding.
And hang on, Bard in the back.
Whoop.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
realize
I'll
we're all
be.
melee, but
Yep. Okay. So right as soon as you hit that corner, and sorry, his token was a bit big on the last map, but you see kind of like around the corner, another goblin. Got this like scar across his like across his jaw, and he's just like, "Intruder!"
oi, clear out, friend.
All right. I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
All right. Yay! Oh my god. Nothing is gonna stop Raimi now. Nothing.
All right.
Alright.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at all that.
Descending. And kind of on that yell, you do see like another goblin kind of like start coming around the corner. A bit more as you guys are probably looking down this way now.
Yep. Yep.
And as well, just save it for the sake, but you can look around and you see this kind of dead end over here.
Okay. Sorry I had the Bard in the back. Oh, you can make it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 20, 10. Yeah, you can make it to them. Have fun. Nick, you're first.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I thought it was the
Oh no, it's
the
you.
critical.
Shafina.
Luckily. There we go, Shafina. Sorry, excuse me. Just Remy move aside a bit.
These two
And-
goblins kind of preparing short bows as you're come sprinting towards their direction.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
And I'll get into proper range. I mean, can I get there? Did I
Yeah,
went too far?
I measured it. You've got
Oh,
wood
okay.
elf speed as well, so you're good.
Cool. Good. So I'll do one rapier on the one on the right.
You go and you just right through its throat and it falls over dead.
Sorry, mate. We got one friend with you already, but you don't seem
Oh
that
wait,
friendly.
sorry, I missed that to hit. That would have missed.
Oh,
My bad.
okay.
They're squishy, but
Yeah,
they're
I
better
thought that
armor.
they are super easy to hit. Whoops. You're a bit shorter than the
Yeah,
other one. And I'll
as you
try
see
again.
him, he was faking,
Oh no!
Oh no.
and then you're like, haha, and then the other one, you go to swing for the other one, and it also just kind of like ducks under your stab.
Might be out of practice. Ramley, I think I'm off today. Could you give me a hand, please?
And Remy just will running, just rip in there.
Okay. If she gets about there, she's in melee with both of them. She can move through the allies' space, yes?
Yep.
Okay. DM decision. Would this character rage right now, or would she not really care and just...
You'd hold back.
She'd hold back, okay. So,
And as a GM, just tip, she does 5 damage, it's a troll.
yes, I know. That's why I was...
The rage.
Yes. Holding on that. I just didn't know if we were bound to hit it within a minute. Anyway, on the one to the right...
Yep. And just in half.
then
The
to
torso goes one way and the legs go the other. Oh my gosh.
Chop, chop!
You just stabs directly into it and pulls it upwards and his head slides in half.
And then she spins around, looks down the hallway. And Isilde's got nothing to do unless goblins show up.
Just do a quick reel there.
Yep. Alright.
And I will say, just, each of you kind of hear like a yell from just like, intruders! Intruders! Coming from this way.
Okay. Right, I need to remember her rolling 1s and 2s. It wasn't important right now, but it might be in the future.
Armor, not the...
Oh, you didn't... Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. You went with armor. Got it. Wait, what?
Did it say something else? It
No.
should say armor.
Yeah, it says armor. It says... Oh, I see you put it in parentheses. I'm sitting there going, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's defense
Yeah.
fighting style. For some reason, I thought it was the great weapon fighting. Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, that is... Yeah, I just did that instead of going in and deleting all of them that weren't the one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
These little shits are gonna sprint towards you guys.
Oh, they're up there. Okay. We see your arrow.
Yep, I'm not overly concerned.
Okay. I can ping your spot. It's right at that little crux. You probably know.
This one runs in, and this one is not too far behind. That is their full movement. Isilda.
Oh, she can get there. She can get there. She cannot quite get within attack range of...
You could do that.
Really? Okay.
Just
Okay.
kind of like skirting the edges.
Yeah. Sure.
Mainly what's taking the room there, and they're small, so.
Yeah. This is hardly necessary. Alright. 8.
You
sorry,
give it a
6.
whack, and he like hits the wall. He's still standing though,
Alright, good. One more. Ooh.
and that one unfortunately misses.
Alright. We got a ballpark for armor class.
As he kind of like falls over for a second and like just misses like where you're expecting him to be. He just pulls himself back up off the ground. It's like, ah,
Alright.
doing this all day.
Well, you're
Right,
not going to
if
be
that's it,
reasonable.
Shafina.
And she puts her shield in front. Ready. Sorry, Nick.
Sorry again. Say again. I didn't
turn.
quite get you.
Your turn.
Okay. There we go. Keeps cutting off from time to time.
About that.
I'll move up and say, well, let's try this again. Oh, there's no space in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I... Oh, I can do one chop. I'll move up.
Well, here I'll polygon reveal because you guys can see past that now that Isilda's up there. I'll just move him to his square proper.
And I'll walk past you, Ariel, and say, excuse me. I'll look at the one in front of me and say, pardon me, I need to pass through. And I'll...
You could just stab him and...
Yeah, I'll do the slash.
Yep, you do so, and just right through the chest, and you pull out, and he falls over.
And now you're
Okay.
free to walk through his space, no trouble.
There we go. Tiptoe over the blood and say, and if you'd like to move as well. Damn it.
This one dodges out of the way and just kind of it slides against this rapier he's got in his hand right now.
I'll say, but move to the sword, not against it. Work with me, please.
All right, it's Ramy's turn.
Alright, trying to remember, you can move through an ally's space, but an enemy's is something. I think you can do it if it's a certain size difference.
I believe so. Also, you can be in an ally space, just you can't end your turn there. So she could do that, go in, swing, and then walk back.
Yeah, okay, true. Wasn't aware you could do that. You can move through a non-hostile. You can move through a hostile only if the creature is at least 2 sizes larger or smaller. So, okay. Whether a creature is friend or enemy, you can't willingly end your move in this space. Okay. Yeah, she'll go ahead and do as you said, pretty much. Bop up even. Do a swing.
Yep.
Do a squish.
Goblin explodes.
And just kind of probably scoot forward. I don't know exactly what her movement is from there. Yeah. Okay, she might be 1 square back.
Yep.
There we go.
Which would be fine.
Alright, that'll be it.
As the other goblins' turns. You hear like a bit more commotion coming from further down the hall, but currently see any goblins right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Isilda.
She gets about up to there. That's another curve, so ready that polygon reveal, please.
Alright, as soon as you turn that corner, you hear
Uh-huh.
as an arrow is shot towards you.
Uh-huh. Nope. Clang.
And you just instinctively pull up your shield as you hear the bowstring snap forward.
Just a thump. Someone was staticky for a second there. I don't know who, because I didn't have Discord visible at the time.
Am I good now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been Nick, I don't know. Okay, so I see that. 25 feet away?
Indeed.
Yeah. It's gonna be kind of a bonus action free action thing, but she's gonna tuck the flail into her belt real quick and pull out a javelin and see if she can whip it towards it.
Go for it.
So that's gonna be 1.
Goes and it sticks into his shoulder and it kind of like pins him to the ground, but he kind of like slides off and pulls it out. And like, ah!
Yep. Can she do a second javelin, or would it be too much?
If you have it on you,
She has 5. I don't know.
I'll bet. Yeah, for the purposes of this, it's a goblin.
Okay. Boom.
And the second one just he's like ha ha as it goes through the throat, and he's just kind of like constantly at a 45-degree angle as his neck kind of like is embedded on the javelin. The javelin's in the ground behind him.
Mm-hmm. Found another one, and that's the end of her turn.
It is Shavina now. Nick, your turn.
Yes. Move up. Just to get a full scope, I'll see like the both.
Ignore this.
And what's the distance? I'm still gotta get 10 feet. What's in front of me aside from this dude?
Oh, sorry, he would be dead. And I will once again pull a gun reveal. You can't quite see as much into this room, but it does seem to extend further. And the hallway kind of goes out into a larger area this way.
Yay.
Looks like we got at least the most of them. We can move up for now. And I'll... do you have anything? I realize I don't have like any super ranged. I'll just... I'll hold a vicious mockery in case anything appears in my range.
All right.
She's
Oh, Raimi is going to run.
skidding around the corner. Swoosh, swoosh. Does she see anything further? Enemies? Anything?
Let's see. Just check her range. It's so squished up. Oh yeah, that's... Yep, so once she's in that area further, she would take 2 held actions, against her.
Ah.
Keen.
The 23 hits, the 14 does not, so I'll take that piercing damage off. She's not raging, so it's full.
Yep. As she sees down 2 more goblins holding bows.
Now the question here is whether she would dash to get closer.
Probably.
Alright, she's up in there.
Alright. It is the goblin's turn. Is going to foolishly run up. The other is going to stay back.
Scimitar, no. Short bow, yes.
Yep. You see the short bow kind of like nick the side of her face and kind of like embed itself in her shoulder.
Do I see it? Because if I see it, I can trigger my vicious mockery.
What's your range on vicious mockery?
60.
Yep. Then definitely.
Awesome.
Please tell me
I'll
that's a
just-
wonderful insult.
Be a bit surprised and say, gosh darn it, you keep coming about. Oh.
Oh,
Good
and,
enough.
and like you see it like wildly swing and it kind of like stumbles off to the side, and then you just mutter a few insults and you see it like look towards you, and then its eyes pop out of their sockets and he falls over dead.
He doesn't even make a wisdom save? He
Oh
can't.
no, that you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, because it'd be no damage.
Yeah.
Gonna make it though, but
Nope.
yeah, no.
I love your sidekick damage.
Like chitch.
Oh.
Just a little more in the throat. Right.
All right. At the end of their
What is
turn,
Sad.
stomp, stomp, stomp.
Trouble.
Seeming, as you hear coming from further down.
Mm-hmm.
Sure what it is, but it definitely seems to be coming from this way.
I don't know which way. Which way?
Oh, sorry, I had the hidden thing.
Ah.
The way I just revealed.
Okay. What about
Oh,
this room
there.
that Raimi is in right now? Is it just a rectangle?
Oh, yep, I can just... guess she would see that.
Alright, alright.
Just reveal that real quick. Alright. Oops. Up there. Okay, yep, oh, that would be all they can see. Isilda.
Can Isilda... She gets up to there. What does it take for her to get those 2 javelins back?
Action.
An action? In that case, she'll just go ahead and leave them for now. Let's see. 30 foot. Or moves with. She can move about 5 more feet. Too far to bother with, really. Yeah, she'll go ahead and she'll move up into the room with a dash.
All right.
Okay, that is gonna be it.
All right. Shafina.
Yes, I'll move up my good 30 feet. I'll look at the lasting one. Say, oh, come on, another one off with your head.
Mockery.
Oh.
It's like the scene. It's like the scene from Scanners.
Oh no.
Anything else you'd like to do?
No. Look,
All right.
maybe into the room. Does it look particular? What is it, like a well?
Yeah, it does seem to be like a kind of like basic water well.
Huh.
Although you're fairly down, so it's a few different things.
Did I catch anything of the noise coming from the upper part?
It's stomping and it's loud sounding. You haven't seen
Okay.
anything yet, though.
Can I do a perception check on that? Just to see how
Mm.
close it is?
I will, but since you used your action, it'll be a kind of a high DC.
No, okay.
Even with that, it's kind of it sounds like 2 feet, 2 fleshy feet on the ground.
Right.
Maybe not stomping so much as slap, slap, slap. But with
Yeah.
the thud.
Well, it's still heavy footfalls.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll probably get ready for this. Guess Rumbly, you'll charge, but try not to do so right now because you'll get stuck in that tiny corridor with that
Actually,
thing.
at this point, I will say Raimi would probably she wouldn't hold back as much as she'd just basically like get ready to swing, and she'll just yell, "Something's coming!"
Alright, is she gonna move up to about there, or is she gonna stay in the room? Would you
She'd
say?
be about, I'd say probably around here, kind of in side with you.
Is she holding an attack action?
Yeah.
Alright.
And yep. You guys, the nightmare of fighting this thing in a hallway right now. Goblins are all dead.
Except for the one napper. The
Be a
smart
little
one.
bit more. Yep. Coming around the corner.
Holy, it's huge! It's squeezing itself through there. Oh my god.
Quite
yep.
literally.
Oh boy.
And you see
Doesn't
this
look
form just kind of
nice.
shits way through and into this room. These multiple heads just all like turn and look and just Killed my men. Yeah, he killed them. We're gonna eat you. We're gonna eat ya. Symphony and symphony of voices. Actually, my bad. You guys would not understand what he's saying.
Actually, I might. Is it in giant?
He's in giant.
I understand it.
Yep. So you get that in giant.
Okay.
Southern, almost equivalent of giant, but there's a lot of like condensed words.
I took that language as a
Heads.
third option just at random, and I'm so happy now.
Yep. Except for just the one head, which is really just like the face on the side of its chest. Seems to have very like eloquent and well-spoken giant.
Oh my god.
However, it is going to the two of you going to make a multi-attack.
Oh boy.
So the first bite will be against Isilda.
Okay. That hits.
And then the claw will be against Isilda.
That hits. 9
And then
is
2 other claws will be at Raimi.
hit. And
Oh.
oh god, everything hits. So 26 on Raimi, I'll get that in a second, but Isilde is 16 plus 8 plus 1 is 25? Yeah, 25.
As this thing comes out swinging and gnashing and biting.
Okay.
And you feel this kind of like bit of like just horrible like infectious mouth stuff kind of like burned where the bite happens. Isilda.
Okay. Well. Yeah, she's far enough away from allies. You see the mask basically, disintegrate off her face, apparently. As her eyes and mouth begin to radiate white energy, white light. And she just starts glowing 10-foot radius of bright light. She'll circle around to about this corner to keep well away from the allies. And, let's see, does she have a fun bonus action to use?
You could prep a smite.
Yeah, she can prep a smite. She's gonna go ahead and prep a blinding smite. So that's gonna be prepared for the next time she hits. However, at the end of her turn, I believe, end of my turn, me and each creature within 10 feet of me takes radiant damage equal to half the level rounded up. So 6 radiant damage on the troll, and 6 on me, but I'm resistant, so I believe that's halved since it doesn't say it can't be reduced.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I'm reading it. I don't know. So I take 3,
Yep.
troll takes 6.
Change target until they're stacked each level. Or you said it can't be reduced?
No, it doesn't say it can't be reduced.
Yeah, you would take half.
Yeah. Okay. So 6 radiant damage on the troll just from being there. And that's going to be her full action, her full turn.
Right. And you see the radiant kind of like slowly like bubble and boil like one of its arms, and then it like you see the blisters pop, and then just fresh skin directly underneath. So that'd be 11.
No, it's 6.
So why does it say 11 on the thing?
11 is my radiant damage when I choose to do that on my turn. It's also
Okay.
my level, so it's easier to half and round up for the thing. There's a lot going on in that ability.
Yep, no problem. Alright. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Massive 15-foot tall troll with heads and faces and arms all over.
Well, you seem like an angry bunch. Oh. Well, no, I won't step over the dead goblin.
I'll just move him to the side for the sake of... He is there, but...
And I'll just... Let's cheer you up. And I'll take my lute and start playing a good irresistible song.
Oh, I forgot something. Devin, the bite and claw attacks, were those non-magical or magical?
Those would be non-magical.
Okay, I almost forgot. I forgot a thing briefly. Yeah. Those were both reduced by 3. So
Okay.
I actually get like 6 back. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Just remembered the feat I
To fix.
Irresistible dance! Oh god, it just happens!
Yep.
It just happens
Yes.
for a round.
Advantage on dex saves and attack rolls. Target this other creatures have advantage on attack rolls. Make a wisdom save to regain control of itself.
As an action at that.
6th
And
level
it's
spell.
concentration up to 1 minute. I simply forgot to put it.
Okay. Next up is Raimi.
Raimi is
We are playing with
going
double advantage, by the way.
to rage.
And the flames just up the side again.
Yep. And she's already got
You
an
see the
advantage.
troll look concerned.
Yep. She's already got
The
advantage
flames.
from the dance. So, just the one advantage, right?
If you'd like, but
Yeah.
basically, if you think it'd be worth her to go for the reckless, but
Yeah, no. No reckless. Oh, hey, I missed that on her sheet. That'll be fun. She's gonna go ahead
Right, bottom?
and... Yeah. The fun thing. She's gonna go ahead and do her 2 attacks. 1, 2.
Whew. Nice.
So, 18 and 4, and 11 and 1.
22, 33, 34. And Troll takes fire damage.
Yep. Yeah, I'll hold on to the fun thing for right. Actually, he's currently dancing and I'm not sure how wise this thing is yet. Does she take... Nah, she's gonna save the fun thing. That's gonna be it for that.
Alright. Goblins, I'll just remove them. It's the troll's turn. Start to, like, convulse and dance. It's movement to dance without leaving its space.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, this is suboptimal, but, Oh, your Bard is lucky.
Oh, man.
Whew.
As well, you do see, although reduced from what you saw before with the blisters, some of its wounds start to heal.
Dexterity saving throw. This is Raimi at advantage. She's good. So that's halved and then halved again, correct?
Believe so.
Yeah. Okay, so 32 halved is 16. 16 halved is 8.
Alright.
However,
That's a good save.
Isilde might not fare so well.
It is still non-magical damage.
Yeah, but still, that's only reduced by 3. Yep, nope. She takes a 29. Ooh, she not look good. She's not looking good.
As it just
she
it
might
kind of like
lose...
goes with the dance and starts flailing its limbs everywhere.
What's half of 29?
Half of 29? That'd be
No, she loses her smite.
24. Yep.
Her smite's gone. Okay.
But it is your turn, Isilda. Oh wait, it would. Is that the save?
It uses an action to make that save.
Oh, it was an action. Okay, yeah, it'll keep going with the dance then.
Okay. Isilda lost her smite. So she's going to... She's going to go ahead and use her action to dump Lay on Hands into herself.
Okay.
Because that was quite a bit. Alright, so she's back up to there. She's gonna bonus action to try and prep another blinding smite out of sheer dumb hope.
Alright.
That's gonna be it. Troll takes 6 radiant damage. She takes 3.
Alright. You are effectively negating its regeneration right now.
Yay.
Nice.
Oh, technically I should make another con save, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'm good on that one.
Alright, anything else?
Nope.
Alright, Bard time.
Still dancing?
Sorry, still dancing, yes.
Still dancing. Oh, wait a second. I forgot my stupid saving throws. Okay, that first she wouldn't have lost. She would still have lost her smite, I believe, because it's hang on. Hang on. What's half of the 29 again? 16 might have made it.
Next save, so it would have been half of 32.
Not the dex save. Well, yeah, that's right, the dex save. Because 18. Bugger!
Hmm?
Bugger!
Ah, well, okay, yeah. Quick math.
I hate
Half of
everything.
32, 15, 16.
Yeah.
Just by... How much is your armor do?
It reduces it by 3.
And a 13. And save for the concentration at that point.
Plus 9. Save for concentration at that point
Was
would have
13.
been-
Yeah, you would have made it. I'll basically say if you want to take that spell slot back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
But
would have
I
still used
still-
your extra bonus action.
I still, I would not have dropped the lay on hands at that point either.
Well, yeah, okay, we're not going that far back,
No. Okay.
but you do have a spell slot back.
Alright, I guess I'm just continuing to hold the spell.
If you would have overhealed yourself on lay on hands, you can take that difference back as well.
I might have, hold on, what's 73 plus 7? Okay, I would not have overhealed myself on lay of hands, I just wouldn't have used it. Oh well,
Okay, well I'm gonna say you still used it, but
I healed myself.
for the purposes of this, but
I hate this. Okay, paladin.
yeah. Sorry, Bard.
Don't worry. I'll continue my song, like doing like a good lights out, and I'll
Alright.
cast blindness on,
All right, it needs to make.
and I'll continue my
save.
tune.
I swear to
Alright.
God, I almost don't want you to succeed.
Damn it!
You have a hard time blinding all of its eyes.
Plus 5.
I get the one on the back. It's simply not worth it.
All right, anything else?
Um,
You do have your
Not
bardic
much.
inspiration, no?
yeah. Oh, I forget that. That's a bonus action, right? So I'll give it to Remley.
Okay.
Raimi, but yes.
Raimi gets a D10 to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. Okay.
Yeah, but she can also use it on attacks because of my combat inspiration. Is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Blades, right?
But inspiration die, you can roll that die and add that number to the weapon damage roll.
All right. So it's extra damage.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
So if that's it, it's her turn.
She still
Yep.
has advantage. Are you saying the D10 can be added to the damage for an attack? I thought it was just the D20 roll that it can be added to.
College of Blades, I believe.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never actually played that one before or dealt with it that much, so okay. Anyway, Burning Sword. That's a 1.
That will hit.
That's a 2.
That will hit. Continues to wear this thing down.
Okay.
That is 13 and 7.
13 and 19, I believe. So 20, 32?
Yep. All right.
I think that'll be it. Unless this thing is starting to look really rough, she's not going to go for the fun thing.
Yeah. Not quite yet, but
Okay.
I mean, you still have advantage on it. But yes.
Yeah. Nope. She's just going to hold on to it, and if she has to reckless for the fun thing, she'll reckless for the fun thing.
All right.
This thing is
It's the
still
troll's
doing
turn.
do-si-do.
Is going to attempt to make a wisdom save.
15 is the number, and he fails.
Oh, real quick. I'll check real quick if he recharges. Oh,
Probably does.
But he used his action to save.
yep. Well, but he would have checked for the recharge at the start of his turn.
Yeah.
D2.
got a
One
takey
he-
back. You might get a takey back. I didn't get my full takey back. I don't know.
Let's do a D2. If it's a 2, he does the claws instead.
Buggering hell.
Alright. Good damage for you guys.
That is poor. Oh, she did poorly. But she still only takes half, so that's.
She could add the D10 and the +3.
She could. No, she cannot add the +3. That's within 10 feet.
Ah.
Yeah, Paladin is very purposefully further than 10 feet away. She could add the D10, but she'd have to roll an 8, 9, or 10 to do it.
Yeah, probably not worth. She
We'll
could take
save
damage.
it.
She's
Yeah.
resisting it anyways.
Yeah, she's resisting. Isilde? No. Takes 24. I hate you so much. I just lost my spell again.
Or both.
What?
Do you hate me or the troll or both?
Kind of both, because we went through that whole rigmarole of me getting the spell slot back, but me not getting to do the attack back, and yeah. And then the troll lost his thing, but then regained it, and then... And I also hate the dice. Mostly it's the dice. But yes, I do hate you. Okay.
I'm sorry. You have also gained that 5 health back. Will be his turn. He is still dancing.
This time she's gonna freaking prep the blinding smite at the top of her turn.
Okay. 19
And-
radiant
Now she's gonna hit the ready thing.
with advantage.
Yeah. 10.
Would you like to do anything else on that hit?
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna second level smite because just
Oh, I meant the other thing.
what? What other thing?
The breath.
Oh. Is it a good angle? It's 15. Okay, yeah, they're out of range.
It would be just him.
They're out of
He
range.
currently has disadvantage, so double.
Let me actually check and make sure that this is, yep, activated with a weapon attack. Needed to double check that. It is Constitution. So it's not gonna do too much.
You have disadvantage though,
Hey.
because you hit him.
Quick question. Can I only do one of those per turn?
I'm gonna say yes.
Makes sense.
Do one of them per hit. How about
Yeah.
that?
What?
So, but you did hit twice.
That's what I was asking. Can I only do one per turn, or can
Okay,
I do one
yeah,
per hit?
1 per hit.
So I can actually throw off both of these things. Actually...
Well,
know
go
what?
if you want to do both.
Mhm.
The paralysis first, because you might have another roll chance with the second attack.
The paralysis won't make a difference in Constitution saves.
Not Constitution save, but you could have crit on that second hit.
I suppose. So let's see that con save, and see if it's paralyzed, and if
Alright.
not, I'll fish for another
Whew, nice.
thing. Paralysis and
Disadvantage
dancing
because
is
you smacked
funny.
him.
Yep. He paralyzed.
Yes. Great.
Yeah, I did not crit on that second one, but it's going to get a wave of cold.
There's someone want to mouse over on their sheet. If paralysis gives just all saves, or is it just like strength and dex and that?
Strength and dexterity saving throws are auto-failed.
Okay, just for paralysis.
Yeah.
All right, so it'd just be regular disadvantage for him
Oh, wait.
on the con save.
You're incapacitated. Hold on. Can't take actions or reactions. Okay, you're good. Wait, any attack that hits the
So-
creature is a critical hit if the attacker's within 5 feet of the creature.
All right. So,
Hold
would you
on.
like to smite you?
4d6 on the wave of cold, I think, is added
Gonna
potentially.
get sick of this fucker.
If that can be critical, if not, ignore that. Ignore it completely.
No, if it's an all
28.
crit on the second one.
Let me get those 2d8 on that second auto crit thing. You need to do the con save to see if the wave of cold is taken in full or not.
Advantage, con save. 8.
Yeah, no,
Cool.
it takes all the cold damage. We're gonna.
You do not get double the damage from the save,
Yeah, I didn't think so, but I rolled it just in case.
but if you do smite, you would double it.
I am definitely gonna do smite. I am gonna go ahead and screw it. I'm gonna drop my last 3rd level spell slot
All right.
on.
Oh, crazy shit.
Damn.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, I need another DC 15 Constitution saving throw, or he's blinded. It's probably completely unnecessary at this point because he's paralyzed. Yeah, no, he's also blind.
So he's currently blind, attempting to dance to no avail, and paralyzed, and
Yeah.
frozen like a popsicle.
Yeah, okay, that's a 48 doubled, so 8d8 on this 3rd
So-
level smite.
I'm not gonna
21.
say how do you want to do. I'm not gonna say
Because
how
we-
do you want to do this.
Because we have to finish him still.
How do you go about paralyzing, freezing, and blinding him at the same time?
Oh, in so much flashing light. This is like a little strobe light in the corner, kind of. She winds up the
Just
blinding
full on
smite.
anime, swing the weapon, giant wave.
Yep. It is basically the blinding smite is in the flail, swings out, brilliant burst of light, but it also washes out in a wave and completely freezes him over. Second swing, less light, but frosty cold, just crackling across him, and actually just as much light because of that smite dropped into it. So yeah.
Okay, so let's do
Light.
the numbers here. So it was 19 radiant from the. So it was 19 from the smite.
Uh-huh.
35. $35 plus 16,
I'm getting a calculator out.
so 41.
35 plus 16 plus paralysis happened. He only gets 14 cold damage. However, there was an extra 9 on that. Plus 9 plus 41. That's 115 damage in one.
Okay,
round.
so how do you actually want to do this?
Is there a threshold? Exactly like that strobe light in the corner, and yeah.
And you go ahead and you just
blasts all the
like
troll's eyeballs out. I don't know. And then
the
freezes
chain
it.
like wraps around the 3 heads and just detonates.
Speaking
4
of-
cans of brains spill onto the floor.
Speaking of detonating, we still have the splitty bombs.
Yep, and you see the troll like flat out on the ground, and then the muscles start to twitch, and you see some of the heads start to reassemble themselves, and some of the like twisted and broken limbs kind of like snap back into place.
She's just gonna shout, Shafina, drop the bomb!
All right,
But is it really?
yeah, it's twitching. It's currently at 0 hit points.
So, did they mention anything about a blast on the bombs, or are they
They
firmly
use the word
controlled?
bomb.
Okay, so
If need be, Isilde will book it, down the hallway. She has her movement.
All right.
Boom, 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 boom.
probably that'd be a good choice.
Throw it into
I'll
the
take-
hallway!
I'll take like this thing as a bit of cover at least, and I'll chuck it over to the big fella.
All right.
I look back and I say, do I do both? Do I do one? I wait.
We each have one. Use yours.
Oh,
Isilde has the
Well.
other one.
what did you have? Did you have fire or acid?
Both.
Both bombs do fire an acid.
Oh, I thought they were like one of each. Okay.
This is full on napalm.
I didn't
Um,
set the damage, but I can roll it.
Oh god, yes.
That's a hit either way.
definitely hits, considering he's currently unconscious. And I will roll the damage for you.
Thank you.
Oh, how ridiculous is this going to be?
So the first is the fire.
I mean, it does sound awful.
So good for you guys, because the threshold is 10 damage. If neither of those rolled 10,
Okay.
It's dead.
actually, hold on. You see the muscles like twitch and seize up, and then just kind of sputter, and then you see the acid kind of like sink into it, and just this like rising as the bomb just in this like ball of fire, and this like this like glowing green flame kind of sticks to him. Oh yes, I like that too. And you see the body like shrivel up, and like there's like a missing limb that just kind of like curls inward and turns into this like blackened, like almost mummified looking body part. Dead.
Definitely.
Definitively, yes.
All right. Shall
You guys know you have a minute.
Oh, by the way, sorry to say it, but Shafina would have taken like 6 radiant damage from being very within 10 feet of Isilda when she ended her turn. So,
For the
Radiant?
purposes of this, it doesn't
Purposes
matter
of
that
this.
much.
it burned
Yeah.
a little, and then Isilda turns it off,
I'm sunburned.
and the mask comes back.
And you see Raimi kind of like standing over it, like ready to swing again, but sees it stops moving and just looks over to you. It's like,
We need to gather this thingy.
I wanted
Zelda?
that, but
Let's try to find it quickly. We only have a minute, and
you guys hear
I'll
me?
hope over.
Yes,
Yep.
we do. He's just
She looks over.
not
Yep.
caring. Yep. All right. We're just looking for the body part that twitches, right?
Pretty much. So give an investigation check, and if you'd like to use your tech magic, do so with
I'm-
advantage.
I am pinging. Because I need all the help I can get. 10.
All right. Well, DC was 10. If you are using like magic, it is this pile. Give a glance around and look, and it's just this one piece, seemingly like a heart in this kind of like block of flesh.
Here. It's here. Bring the vial thingy over here.
I'm gonna say my investigation was simply like the
Yeah, no, you're just like going through body parts, and then you just kind of like trip and fall in it, and like half of your side is like covered in like this troll blood.
It's getting nasty over here. Like, and I'll lift my arm up, up, and give the thingy to you, or at least guide me to the place, and I'll get it if I'll slip or slide over there.
I think that's for the best. It's right here.
All right. So once again, your survival check at advantage.
Sleight of hand.
Survival. Or slide pants, whichever.
Oh, sleight of hand works for me.
18, DC 11.
Nice.
And so yep, you just walk over it and give it a stab, and just and you see it fill up with this like layered, like there's 2 different liquids kind of mixed together in this swirl of just this green and this like dark Icarus red. Slowly fills up and is kind of this like spiral pattern. And then the needle recedes back into it, and there's the kind of runes that light up and then dim on the side. You have both of your essences. It's called.
Excellent.
So it follows. You just hear someone out there from over to the west.
Aye, one moment. We're coming.
And you walk in, and you find what seems to be the namesake of this area.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this kind of emaciated-looking man kind of sat in the corner of this of one of the cells.
Well, you're a right, miss. How'd they get you in here?
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen anyone with way smaller or way taller.
Hold on, I'll get this in a jiffy. Just gonna start inspecting the door.
All right. You give a look. Solid metal, seemingly old and rusted and sturdily in the ground. Giant latch with a. It doesn't even look like a lock. More like just like a piece of metal shoved into the side of the wall.
Well, I hope you don't mind if this is lacking in some finesse.
You see him just kind of take a step back.
Never really a lockpick sort of person. She's gonna
And
wind up.
you see Raimi going like, "Are we kicking the door in?"
Perhaps not. But it's flashy.
You can go ahead and, if you'd like to make a strength check, you can do so with advantage.
Sure. 22.
And the two of you kind of like hold on to the bars and just pull it out off its hinges. The door just kind of like, you just kind of place it off to the side. And his sheet real quick.
Oh.
Rorik.
It's kind of like not too dissimilar to Raimi actually. These kind of like scratch and like claw marks all kind of going down the side in one of his face and kind of more down into the chest. You see, seems like a guy who's been around, probably in his late 30s, early 40s.
Hey.
Yeah, again, just even more than the art, just has this kind of emaciated look to him. He's like skin and bones.
Hold on, I think I might have some rations in here for travel. Better take it easy on the water skin at first.
Yes. My name's Rourke. Who do I owe the savior to?
Isilda Durston.
He's just kind of, you kind of like help him to his feet, and he just kind of like puts his arms around you. He's like, "Thank you."
Oh, there. Kind of pats him on the back. Not quite sure
Hey.
what to do with her hands for a second, but pat, pat.
And he just kind of like pulls away and just like, "I didn't think I'd be getting out of here."
Oh,
And I've given up.
seriously. What are you doing in here? How'd they get a hold of you, I suppose?
I was kind of around just old places like this mine, and he thrown to the side. I mean, they mine precious resources, crystals, metals, things people forgot about. But it seems they decided to take up residence, and they found me, and the big guy knocked me out. Few less limbs.
Well, they must have had a reason for keeping you. Apparently, he usually kills and eats whatever comes his way.
Oh yeah, he did. I wasn't the only one here.
Oh,
Cool.
sorry.
I don't know, he's me for something like a storage or something. Emergency food, I don't know.
Ah. Well,
Now, right?
well, let's get you out of here. Let's see. He's not blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned, so lesser restoration isn't going to help. But, you know, if he needs a little bit of healing, she can drop a little healing in him.
Yeah. To bring a bit of color to his face.
Yeah.
Probably definitely more so needs the food and the water, but
Oh, she's supplying that too. Come on.
you had to make a quick medicine check.
Absolutely. 14.
He doesn't look like he's gotten much sleep in a while either.
Mm.
He's kind of got these dark bags under his eyes. He's probably suffering from like a number of levels of exhaustion.
There's not too much I can do about that. Alright. We're going to do a quick sweep of the area, I think, just to make sure there's no more nasty surprises waiting around. But in the meantime, you sit tight here in the Santa Chamber. We'll come and pick you up and take you out to here when we are heading out.
At this point, I'm just going to reveal the whole map to you guys.
Yep.
Cool.
This part is like kind of caved in and blocked off.
Mm-hmm.
Over in the kind of stone area. You can kind of, as you go to the north, you do see the kind of place you assume the troll was staying. Piles of bones kind of discarded to the side, broken in half, seemingly with the marrow missing.
Mm-hmm.
You see a pile of various valuables.
Yeah, let's see if there's anything interesting there.
Yep. You see this like nice new scimitar and kind of a backpack full of various, seems to be spelunking things.
Mm-hmm.
It is the property of Rorik.
Yep. She kind of is gonna guess that and bring it back to him. Look familiar.
Yep. But as well, you see this kind of like piles of like rough but still nice looking like crystal ore.
Alright.
Probably a pretty penny or two.
Yeah, we'll shovel that into the portable hole. As for troll blood, I don't suppose anybody has any vials and can try to extract any from whatever might be left.
It was mentioned you could probably just bring the corpse.
Yeah, I guess. Let's just shovel that in there too, or at least
Yeah,
the bits.
it is in pieces, so it does kind of fit in more nicely.
Good. Just the bits down the sides that fit.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, this is such a piecemeal bag. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like fucking like right out of H.P. Lovecraft. It's this giant dead snail with these like green limbs kind of stacked up beside it.
And a bunch of crystals.
Mm-hmm.
And snail eggs in glass. Yep, we got this.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of fold it back together.
Tuck it in the pocket. Alright.
Your ways out.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
would kind of want to stop by in the mine.
Nah, we'll leave Sleepyhead be.
Okay. If that's the case, the now four of you make it. You see Raimi basically like throw Rourke on her back and just start carrying. And make it out and kind of breathe the fresh air once more. You guys were down there for about an hour, but and you just kind of breathe in. Sun seems to be just going down. Well, not even going down, just kind of getting into that last quadrant of the sky. And you could probably make it back to town by sundown.
Even with our exhausted passenger, I guess.
You see Raimi kind of walk over with Oric on her back, and just nearby the mine, there's this kind of wheelbarrow that she just throws him in.
Oh, whatever, and she'll pull out her bedroll and kind of pack it around him as best she can.
He's just kind of like on his side. It's like, it's fine. It's honestly more comfortable than the armor. We just looks at it, it's like, hey, my armor's plenty comfortable. Not on the outside. Makes a face at him.
Well, Can't promise a smooth ride, but we'll do our best. Take it easy.
And so, the two of you, or sorry, 3 now. Damn it, 4, fuck.
6.
All of us.
This session started with me not knowing how many people there were, and it ended just as well. Make it back to town, just as it's kind of getting to that little bit of nighttime. Church. And you see Father Dario seeming happy to see you, the 3 of you, now 4 of you, back okay. He kind of takes work off your hands. Apparently he was from a town over, just a kind of another small kind of logging town. Went off on his own and, well, ended up there. Thank you guys profusely for saving him.
Isilda's gonna ask if anything is needed to help get him healed up, back on his feet, help whatever.
I mean, I usually make my own fortune anyways. I'm not gonna say no to anything, but I don't really need it. Probably gonna be a few days in here as well, just kinda getting my strength back.
I'm
Rio kind of like, we'll be feeding him, so that won't be an issue there.
I'm not bad with the healing and the medicine and all that. I could maybe give a bit of help here and there with that, if nothing else, if it's needed.
Dario kind of nod and just like, that'd be appreciated.
I'll come by then. For now, I think we've got a so and so to
Yes,
talk with.
indeed, he's in the same room. I let him know as soon as you heard you guys were back in town.
Well,
Each of you walk in, and across the room again, he's just seen with his arms on the table, fingers tented as his chin lays on them. Expect to hear good things.
we've got a hole full of interesting bits and pieces, including a few things we didn't expect to find. Not sure where you want to unpack it though. Bit of a mess.
Probably not here.
No, we
at
could do
least.
it in the main. We could do it in the main area. I mean, not many people come to the church at this time.
If you're sure.
Well, lookers on aren't that much of an issue, anyways. He kind of walks out and into the larger area.
Yeah. Isilda will kind of pick an out of the way side next to a wall or something and lay out the hole and start basically pointing out.
Let's see the hole. Yeah, and he gives a look. It's like, and
For what it
eggs. They
Oh,
seem
yes.
to be doing okay as well.
Oh,
Did
wait. I tried not to crack them when they came out, but no idea how being in here will have affected them, if at all.
But they don't usually require that much oxygen or anything, or air. I guess he wouldn't really know the word oxygen. Probably that much air since they're well sealed in already.
Alright, we found a
And-
few of these raw crystals, don't know what they go for. Troll bits.
He kind of turns in his hand. I'll leave those to you. I'm more interested in the high value items. And you see him just kind of run his hand over the snail cell. Extra large, wonderful. Normally it's about 2 shields to be made out of these things, but this could go for 4 or 5.
Handy.
The more important parts. The shell will probably sell for. That's I actually said that. I'm surprised. Sell for maybe a number of hundreds of gold, but you know where the real money is at, yes?
Well, I assume the actual objective, and she pulls out the essence bottle.
And he kind of gives a look and takes both of them. He's like, absolutely beautiful. And he holds them up to the light.
Quite a sight.
Sorry, say that again?
Quite a sight. Because of the colors on the flickering.
And then he just gives a look. It's like, oh, I have a buyer. He will be ecstatic. And trust me, what you're getting is nowhere near what he's paying.
Oh, I trust you.
Well, that explains how, I guess how you could throw that amount around without blinking.
He seemed very adamant about these particular
Is he,
types.
is he a sort we should worry about having his hands on this sort of thing?
I don't question it that far.
Let's say that the second thing we found, the troll itself, was a bit odd, even for a troll. He had one too many faces, like not one to like.
As he looks down in the pieces of the corpse in the hole right now. Yes, well, funny thing about trolls, they're highly adaptive creatures. Rise in power in all manner of ways. And some take to eating their own kin.
Ah,
It has that effect.
yes. Someone did say that this one went by the name Hungry.
Well, all trolls do share that aspect, but they seem to take a particular taste for their own kind. And on top of that, generative powers, I'm sure. You could chop one's head off in it as long as you stick it back on, it'd be walking the next day. The same goes for body parts not of its own. When wound on the shoulder, the severed arm from another brother, place it on and it simply heals itself and incorporates it into its being. As well as the potential it gained allowed it to control all those limbs. But it was mainly the first one, kind of like you seem like conjure up a mage hand and kind of like poke like the much larger head. The original. And probably it could have lost it in that time, but we're gonna get. Takes a lot of brain power to what looks like 5 arms, 2 legs, 3 heads, maybe more.
I
And
think there was
that
a
is-
face in the torso, so 3.5.
Point being, these 2 are very valuable. The snail as well. Did any of you cast any spells on it?
Not directly.
Count yourself lucky. If you did, they might have just been sent right back at you.
There's an odd question in that, actually, now that I think about it. What if I'd cast something like Cure Wounds? Would it have just bounced?
So long as it's
Or is it
so long as there's an
choosy?
attempt on it. It's only if the attack misses or it's kind of shrugs off your effect. Out of character, it's
Yeah,
if
attack
if
roll.
an attack roll misses or it makes the save.
Yep, okay.
So if the flail snail was somehow willing to be plane shifted, that would not randomly bounce off to someone else.
Yep.
He just kind of looks down. Although one of this size, they usually peak out about maybe 3/4 of this size. Itself is twice as big as it ought to be.
Alright. So who was the numbskull who, set him loose in there to begin with?
That is a question I've been putting a lot of money towards. A while ago, about a year, decided to do some experiments here and there and everywhere. Throwing as much potential into whatever he could find. In places that would be, help their growth. Placing Potentia in a random goblin and then throwing him in the middle of town if the guards are just going to cut his head off. Although you couldn't technically do a goblin because humanoids are. Potentia in a humanoid is not a pretty sight. But anything like that, it seems a multitude of extra potential are in places that adds to it, and Even luck itself bends to those favored by that essence. It's not just mere chance that that many other trolls, found their way to that cave to be consumed or crafted. This is conjuncture, and we're getting off topic here. You probably want your money.
Just a bit. Well, not really. Everything.
Yep. And you see him kind of, with a flourish, present the two of you these like heavy bags. In each, 200 platinum in each bag. I think you'll find that agreeable.
Well, definitely.
Excellent.
Feel free to count, I won't be offended, but...
I won't.
Raimi just yells back, our usual arrangement? Yes, yes, don't worry. Grunts. That's all. It's been a absolute pleasure doing business with each of you.
Are you local about town then?
I'm a bit of everywhere, my dear.
Well,
Find me again, I'd be happy to, and honestly, if I need to find you, extra jobs wouldn't be self.
we'll see. I might do a bit of a wandering myself once I've cleared up a few things around here.
I understand you have a, where some of that money is going.
Sorry, I don't speak the common that well. I'll be off now. And she tucks the bag away and starts heading out the door.
You see him give a chuckle, and she's like, and just, if you ever come into that issue again, just give me a call. I'm sure we can arrange something.
And she waves over her shoulder, Gurith Matagut! And she heads out.
And as you go and walk out the door, you kind of bump into this figure. Somewhat tall in these kind of like long robes, and kind of a hood pulled over. And you see him kind of look down, male presumably, over your height, probably just over 6 feet.
Yeah.
With this like mess of blonde hair at the top, and these kind of like spatter of freckles, and these like glowing red eyes. Sorry, didn't mean to. Please, after you.
Oh, thank you. And she
Church.
looks around. Huh?
And he enters the church behind you. Silda go anywhere specific? Or just kind of off into the sunset?
Possibly off into the sunset. The only specific thing she would do is, if she gets to wherever she needs to pay everything off right away, then she takes care of it. If she gets distracted along the way by somebody rattling a cup on the side of the road, then it might be a little bit depleted.
You go, and I'll say you know enough that you can find the person's house.
Yeah.
It is not their shop, but it is their house.
Yep.
Knock on the door quickly, and they have a nightcap on.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a twitchy-looking halfling.
I have
You're back to make a payment.
I have the last of it, actually.
The last of it.
The full.
He kind of like narrows his eyes. Like, yeah, okay, sure.
You can count it if you'd like. I won't be offended.
Kind of like drop it in his hands. He's like, he looks in and he's like, you see his eyes light up. It's like, oh, So, and you see him like pick up the coin and kind of like turn it in his hand. And you might have seen platinum coins before. You might have traded and given them to kind of your debt before, just as a way of smaller. These are very particular platinum coins. But they do have this shine to them. They seem like newly minted. It's like Oh, oh. Yeah, it's all cleared up. Don't worry. Yeah, and he just closes the door quickly.
Oh, you don't want to spread it out and count him?
Uh, he just yells back, I trust him!
Alright. That's peculiar. And then she'll wander off into the proverbial sunset.
And just, Shafina, while you're there, you kind of go to exit as well, and you see that same figure walk by. And he's like, and Platinum goes, oh, didn't expect to see you this soon.
Soon? What time is it? Probably late somewhere, so, and I'll look attentively.
And you see the other figure that recently walked in kind of like give you a glance, but then turn back. Yeah, sorry about that. But I heard word, and you sent me a message, and well, I happen to be in the area. Like, oh, good. Well, and like he produces the 2 vials you guys got. All in order, and he just slowly nods, like, yes, this'll do well. Well, don't use it all in one place. And he just slowly nods. And the shell? Oh yes, we'll have that shipped to your people immediately. You see him take out this, like, brilliant looking, like, shining gem. A baseball. Like, place it in Platinum's hand, he just kind of feels the weight and gives it a look, and it's like, and I'll be expecting a few more of these later on. Yes, I can't exactly carry them all around though. Yeah, of course. And kind of pats him on the shoulder. Oh, enjoy your product. And puts the 2 vials in his coat and walks out. Glance again, Shafina.
Give a glance back and exit with him.
And he kind of just walks out the door, doesn't pay you a whole lot of mind after a quick glance, and just kind of starts walking down a road.
I'll use telepathy as he wanders off, and I'll say, be careful!
And there's a pause as he's standing there. The head slowly turns, and you see the normally just like blank, like standard red eyes have this glow to them. And you feel telepathy that is not your own respond.
Oh.
He goes like, take your own advice.
Oh.
It won't be nice. And almost like completely different from the telepathy, there's this smile on his face, like, well, nice meeting you. Thank you for the job. And he walks off.
Like, nod. Okay.
All right. And if that's all,
I think so.
I think we'll call it there.
Yay.
Alright. Oh boy.
Brief epilogue. Yeah, brief epilogue. Isilda, you might have been offered by Raimi to join a few other jobs potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Just with you exploding that troll.
Yep.
That was a bit of an overkill
Yeah.
in all senses.
Okay, I take back all the grumpy and I hate this and stuff because that was fun. I just need to learn not to prep a smite before.
Yes.
Because it happens.
That is a lesson I learned.
Yeah, it's good to learn it before I have to play a paladin regularly, so, yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah. Just that unused bonus action is so shiny. Okay, yep.
Awesome. Thanks, man. It was super fun.
Glad you people enjoyed.
Yep.
So I kind of threw it together on short notice.
It worked.
Especially that awful thingy with almost 6 phases and a couple on his chest.
Yep, dire troll.
And awful.
Which book? Mordenkainen's?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
with all the troll variants.
And oh god,
Trolls and poison trolls.
I'm just so sorry about the on again, off again, almost accent. Oh
I enjoyed
my
it.
I
god.
enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good.
You're good at, like, you can get better at it.
Yeah, just need to do it more often, I guess. Oh no. Yeah, but literally that was a 7-minute YouTube video, like 10 minutes before we were due to start
Basic
the game.
Irish accent sounds.
Yes! Here are the basic
Waha.
sounds. Here are some practice words. Good luck.
What's the sentence? There's one sentence I looked up at some point that's like
I have no idea.
it was like a practice sentence or something. It's like an Irish drinking song or something that is just like nothing but Irish noises.
Really? I have not heard of that one.
Where is it? Hold on, I'm looking.
Okay, is there anything else for game though? Because otherwise I'll stop recording.
You know what? Just a small thing.
Yeah.
Would Isilda have mentioned the figure she saw, to Dario?
The figure she saw to Dario, the one that she bumped into in the church? Which figure?
The red eyes.
I don't know. It would depend very much on whether she got any impression that that would be important. Because Platinum also had red eyes.
Alright.
And Dario was fine with that, so she might just assume.
You know what? Do you have your sheet open still?
I do.
Have her roll a quick perception check.
Alright. 11.
Alright. You might have, just as you were walking away. Does she ping her detect magic often, just idly?
She could, but it would maybe be a luck roll or something.
Yeah, okay. Give me a d20 then.
16.
16. Just as you're walking away, kind of had a glance of curiosity, like, hey, maybe. And my god, he was exploding with magic.
Okay. Then it might have come up as some sort of curiosity.
Yep, alright. And in that case, Father Dario would have had this grim look on his face as you described that figure.
Mm-hmm.
And he might ask if he had a particular scent to him.
A scent? Oh.
You do recall just, like, it was this weird half-second, you smelled rotten eggs as you kind of walked by him.
Well,
You thought maybe it
bomb.
was still the grenade.
Yeah. I still had my grenade, I still had my bomb. I kind of thought it was that, though I hadn't smelled it in a while.
He just, the look is, like, further cemented.
Is there a little problem with that?
We have a history.
But I take it not one that authorities would get involved in, I guess? If he's still around and paying who knows what for things.
He wasn't exactly working outside of the law. We had a altercation, and, well, I wouldn't be who I am today had we not had that encounter. But he's not a. If you see him again, beware.
I'll try and be careful and probably honestly steer clear. I've had a little altercation of a sort with a nasty kind of person once, and didn't go well for me.
And you kind of slowly on. It's just.
In some ways it went worse for him. He didn't make it out alive, but yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on my part as well.
The gods prefer it, but not as permanent as one might think.
The gods might prefer it, but what?
Death is not as permanent as they might say it is, as one might think.
Well, permanent or not, sometimes trouble can be.
I've lived many, many years, and I'm still learning things.
Aye, me too.
And he says, in Celestial, I do have this down, though.
Well, that you do.
And then you hear a few phrases you don't understand. And then in Giant, and this.
Well, you're beyond.
And then a
what
few
my-
more.
You're well beyond what my areas are. In that case. Well, I've got a couple though.
I suppose so.
Still, if trouble comes, well, I'll be around for a little while longer before I take to the road for a bit, and I'll be sure to come back and visit every once in a while.
If I come across him again, or anything like this pops up again, could I rely on you for help?
Probably, as long as you can reach me and I'm nearby.
I'm sure I could find a way.
Yeah, catch me in the morning and I can prep a spell and have a fast horse and ride quick here.
Alright. I'll hold you to it then. Does like the kind of like older man thing of like take your hand and the one hand over it.
Yeah, she actually just kind of returns it with the double hand clasp around one of his, just 'cause. Only she makes it a handshake, sort of.
Okay. Yep. And we can end it there.
Oh, right.
Awesome.
Vague leanings and leadings.
Oh, yeah. Till whenever we return to this. Probably another one shot or 5 before we get back to campaign. So, yeah. I think we're done.